Here are your hosts, John Kincade and Andrew Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Well, on behalf of the Philadelphia 76ers, I'll throw the Phillies in this, even though nobody was really fired up for the Phillies yesterday. I apologize for us getting super excited the first day of what is supposed to be a big week. Phillies bounce back, hopefully. That didn't happen yesterday. And the Sixers continued push for one of the top 6 seeds to avoid the play-in. That did not go well yesterday. Thank God we have at least the Flyers who did not play yesterday, and we get to look forward to them tonight. So I don't want to take away from the buzz of the Flyers tonight.
You know, don't let them bring you down.
Last night was a bit of a Buzzkill night to start the week after we were so fired up to start the show yesterday.
It was, but don't put the other teams, let the Sixers stank get on the other teams.
No, I'm not going to, but
sounds like you are. I'm just saying. It sounds like you are.
The first thing I'm doing is reacting before I look ahead. And
sounds a little like you're letting the Sixers stank get on you, and I would say to you is you can't look at like the Flyers or even the Phillies as the same way as you look at the Sixers.
No, they're separate entities. The Phillies,
they're all separate entities.
Phillies and Sixers have nothing to do with one another, but what I can say is they do have something that they can relate to. They both lost yesterday.
They did. Yeah, they both lost yesterday, but I'm not exactly super concerned about the Phillies' loss because it's way early. I am super concerned about the Sixers' loss.
Super? I wouldn't.
I am because it's just more. It's more of the same. I want to buy in. I've been doing everything I can to buy in.
All right, they just had 2 straight good wins, and they lost yesterday. It sucks.
They lost to a team that has been doing absolutely freaking nothing.
Yeah,
limping, and then they listlessly lost. That's the problem. There is an effort issue. There's an effort issue. There's an energy issue with that team that just grates on me.
I can't say that when we were literally just talking about how great their energy and effort was the previous game against the Hornets.
Yeah, but that's the point. Win. That's the point. That's the exact point I'm making. Is that what the hell is that about? One night you got it, one night you don't. One quarter you got it, one quarter you don't. We talked about the third quarter all year long.
Yeah.
Where you can give us 2 good quarters and then you can come out in the third quarter and you can wet the bed. That is the issue, Andrew. The issue is that they can't, for some reason, the chemistry they cannot sustain. They cannot sustain. Now, look, I'm excited. I want to be excited. I want to be bought in. But last night just reinforces to me that the old Dennis Green, that I'm hoping it's not the case this spring. They are who we thought they were.
I can't go off of one loss. I can't go from the high that we felt yesterday reacting to the Hornets game and getting so excited for this week, and then after one loss doing the who we thought we did.
No, I'm hoping not, because with the Sixers, it's about missing the play-in tournament.
Yeah, and you don't want that.
And it's a team that should be much better than that.
Yeah. Sixers lose last night to the Miami Heat. They are now a game and a half back of the Hawks for that 6th seed. Hawks beat the Celtics last night, which was another kick in the nuts yesterday.
That's not good.
And they're still a game and a half back of the Raptors. They had the chance to jump them because the Raptors were off yesterday. So game and a half back of both the Hawks and Raptors, 5th and 6th seeds. The Hawks have the tiebreaker with the Sixers, so you can't tie with them. You have to actually jump them.
The math ain't mathing with the Hawks right now.
No, it's not.
It's bad.
It's you're eyeing the Raptors as the team that you could potentially jump, and hopefully you just get out of the play-in tournament. But yesterday they fought the Heat, and it was such a weird game because it was typical Sixers this year. Say what you want, because they have not had many chances to all be together. When they have all been together, even in the games where they go down early, they fight back.
Yes.
Almost every single night. Now, there's not many chances to point that to because they have not played that much together. But
they do
yesterday,
fight back.
They're down 14 points in the first quarter, and then they go on this monster run, and they're down 4 to end the first quarter. You're going, all right, that after the big win Saturday against Charlotte, you'll take that. You were down 14 at one point. Now you're only down 4 going into the second quarter. Let's go. They outscore the Heat. They go into halftime up 3 after at one point it looked like the Miami slog, right? How many times have you seen that? Teams go to Miami.
Way too often.
And it's not just a Philadelphia thing. They go to Miami, they party a little too hard the night before, and then they come out the gate really slow. the next day. The Sixers came out the gate slow, but they fought back. They go into halftime with the lead. Third quarter happens. They get outscored by 7, but they're only down 4 going in the fourth quarter. That a winnable game. You're the better team, and you're up.
Better team's an understatement.
Yeah, you're up 5.
And then what happens?
The Heat go on a 14-0 run.
The Sixers look like their feet were in cement at the end of that game.
Well, maybe they were because they've Paul George playing 35 minutes and Embiid playing 34 minutes, and they're old and.
I mean, it looked
hurt
like cement. It looked just it was listless.
Yeah, it was just a bummer because it's the beginning of the week where you're fired up, and look, I'm not going to make this out to be they are who we thought they were. I'm not going to go that far.
And you are free to have that opinion.
But it was just. It sucked to start the week after all that excitement yesterday. It was like yesterday was like a pep rally for the city of Philadelphia, and they lose, and so does the Phillies. We'll spend a little bit more time.
When a young team doesn't come through, when a team that isn't accomplished doesn't come through, it's a learning curve.
Yes.
When an accomplished team, the Sixers with guys with accomplishment come out and give you that inconsistent effort you saw last night, that was awful.
Yeah, they should not have lost
that was dreadful.
Game,
to that team.
Yeah.
To that group of Scribinis that Miami's throwing out there.
And it's not like Miami had anybody like go off, right? Tyler Hero had 30 points, but he was 3 of 10 from 3. It's not like the dude couldn't miss. Like we've seen that where
Tyler Hero's had those nights among others.
But we've seen it in basketball. Doc Rivers with the old scheduled loss. We've seen it where a guy goes off for 30 and you're like, all right, that guy couldn't miss. It's just one of those nights. Yesterday, when you're gearing up for a game after a nice weekend win against Charlotte, to your point, Johnny, the Heat were falling apart, leaking oil. They had lost 5 straight games, and you go out there and you let them go on a 14-0 run at the end. Nick Nurse got outcoached by Eric Spoelstra at the end. That was a big takeaway, too.
A crime.
No, Eric Spoelstra's a hell of a coach.
I think you got to get to the number is you got to get to 47 with the Hawks. The minimum number you got to get to is 47 because you've got to out. The Hawks are going, I would say, no worse than 46 wins. So you've got to get to 47 because you've got to beat them out.
Yeah.
So for the Sixers to get there, they got to go 6-1. I don't see this crew going 6-1.
Yeah, it'll be a tough stretch because they have that 4-game stretch that's a monstrous stretch.
So now it's the Raptors. Now you're looking at the Raptors and you're saying, can you catch the Raptors? Raptors have that stretch coming up that just is, to me, it doesn't look like they've got a really tough. I'm looking at the 7 seed and saying, hold off and get that 7 seed.
We're big Pistons fans tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Pistons host the Raptors.
Come on.
8 o'clock.
Come on, Pistons.
All right, before we look ahead, because we have the Flyers tonight, which we are very excited for, and they got some help yesterday, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Did.
And before we look ahead to 2 major debuts, one in Andrew Painter, one on the ice with Porter Martone, we have to react to yesterday's Phillies game, Johnny. And it is another rough game for the Phillies in the early 2026 season. No, I'm not panicking. You're not overreacting. But it's becoming embarrassing. They lose to the Washington Nationals yesterday, 13-2. And I don't know where to begin, John, because you could talk about the starting pitching with Taijuan Walker, and you're going, uh-oh.
Which was atrocious.
Is this Taijuan Walker from 2 years ago?
Correct.
Where his ERA was like 7. Or you look at the guys that are getting paid a lot of money, Turner, Schwarber, Harper, and I'll throw Bowman there too. They are now a collective 8 for 64 on the season, which is a batting average of 125. And if you want to focus on Mr. Harper, he goes 0 for 5 yesterday, dropping his average from yesterday's .091 to now .063, Johnny. Not a good start for Mr. Harper.
No, don't think he's going to be wearing any T-shirts in the batting cage. It's like he was no help to himself last night. He looks lost. The at-bats aren't good. Like last night, could you say the at-bats were where you're saying he's just off by a little?
That's what Topper said after the game.
Yeah, exactly. Topper also said that Taijuan Walker had really, really good stuff.
Yes, he did.
But it's what Rob Thompson just continues to baffle me. I have no idea.
Well, you know what? Maybe he couldn't watch because he got ejected.
Oh, wasn't that good?
Shout out to Topper. Topper got kicked out of a baseball. That might have been the earliest Rob Thompson ejection I've ever seen.
First of all, can you think have there been like, I do not know the number. Have there been like 4 I'm guessing 4.
Probably around that.
I'm guessing 4 that it was. I actually wanted him ejected before the game, if it was possible. Hearing the gobbledygook that I heard pregame out of his mouth when he explained to the media why Justin Crawford had to sit for the game. That's where I wanted him sat. I was hoping that he would just be ejected before the game and let somebody else manage it, because I have no idea what he's doing.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Let's talk about this Crawford thing. By the way, that was his 6th career ejection. He had 3 in 2023, 1 in 24,
I don't remember.
1 in 25.
I don't remember them. Like they're not memorable to me.
No, because he doesn't have he's not Lou Piniella.
And by the way,
he's not throwing bases.
By the way, I actually admire that about a manager, that they don't pull the nutty all the time.
Yeah, like Aaron Boone is over the top all the time.
And I think it's very performative with Boone.
Yes, I think so,
And I
too.
think yesterday it was performative with Rob.
Yes, it may.
I think Rob was trying to be.
May have been.
Yeah, I think Rob was trying out for the theater club yesterday.
So, Justin Crawford was not in the starting lineup yesterday.
Yeah.
The 22-year-old?
22 years old.
Look, I know I'm still young. We talk about how, 32 is not that old. I still feel pretty good.
You should.
The day after I go to the gym, or
You should feel
a little
good.
sore. I was a little sore yesterday after my first baseball game of the season, but I'm not a professional athlete. Justin Crawford's 22 years old. I don't think he knows what sore is.
He played 3 games in 4 days.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There was a day off in between game 1 and game 2, and this was Rob Thompson before the game yesterday talking about why Justin Crawford was out of the lineup.
Just to give him a little reprieve from all this left-handed starters. But, I mean, he handles lefties pretty good normally. So.
Yeah, he does. Do you know who had the best batting average against left-handers in the minor leagues last year?
Justin Crawford.
There's no explaining what this man does. There's no explaining his strategy. He can't even explain it. Justin Crawford, the best minor league batter against lefties. And Rob Thompson can't even he can't even explain himself. And when he does explain himself, he exposes himself.
By the way, if he was 0 for 12 to start the season, okay. But he went 2 for 4 to start the season.
Rest days? A rest day?
He got what? Was he the first hit against Mackenzie Gore? I know there weren't many, but I know he got a hit against
He was the one
Mackenzie
he beat
Gore.
it out. He beat it out in the infield.
He put the ball in play.
Oh my gosh.
If he was, I'm not taking a shot at Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh sometimes looks uncompetitive against left-handed pitching.
He couldn't hit it with a boat paddle.
It's why you're doing the platoon. If he's looking uncompetitive at the plate, you go, all right, let's give him a day off from the lefties. But that's not the case. He's had competitive at bats. Connor, you always look at things in a brighter light sometimes. Can you explain this one to us?
Yeah, there's actually a pretty reasonable explanation. Rob Thompson has lost his mind. I don't have anything on this one. I'll defend the guy when I believe he has a point. There's no reason that your rookie who just debuted 3 games into the season
in 4 days
is sitting in game 4. There's no reason for that. It's not like you have guys on the bench that you have to get it. I get JT going down, one, because he's an older player and Marchand hasn't played yet. Crawford sitting makes absolutely no sense. He's good against both-handedness. He's a good contact hitter. He should play every day. It makes no sense to me, the decision they made with Justin Crawford, and the explanation makes no sense.
And that's the thing that bothers me, and sometimes, Connor, over the years, you've said to me, I put too much into what coaches say. When you're asked to explain yourself and explain your strategy, I'm not putting too much into it that Rob Thompson cannot explain himself. He cannot. He cannot explain why he does things.
We want to give him a day off against lefties, even though he hits lefties good.
And he was the best hitter in minor league baseball against lefties.
That makes no sense.
He has how about this? He has the best minor league resume of any batter in the Phillies' current roster against lefties. Now, Bryce Harper didn't have a minor league resume, but he had the best minor league resume. So any of the Phillies against lefties. Rob Thompson cannot explain his own strategy. And to me, that is malpractice.
And
that is malpractice for your manager to not even be able to understand why they do things.
And again, he's 22 years old. This isn't a guy that's 36, and it's look, it's a long season. We want to give this guy We want to be like, let's say JT. Let's give JT a night off. It's a long season.
No. Totally understand.
All right. Yeah, guy's a catcher.
And he's not doing anything either.
This is a 22-year-old kid, and we're sitting him because why? Because you want to give him a break from left-handed pitching, and yet you then say in the very next sentence, and yet he's a very good left hitter against left-handed pitching. Like, that makes no sense to me. And I love Rob Thompson. All right, we've butted heads over toppers over the years. This is one of those times where I go, there's nothing I could say to defend Rob Thompson today.
You know how many times everyday center fielder was used in association with Crawford from the time 2026 began? 17. Just do a simple word search on it. You can go 17 times. The Phillies referred to him as an everyday center fielder, or we expect him to be our everyday center fielder. There's always a context to where it's used, but everyday center fielder. 4 games in, he thinks he needs rest.
It makes no sense.
And he had a day off in the first 3 games. He had a day off built in there. I don't when the boss can't explain the strategy. I'm telling you, I'm this close to being out.
All right,
I'm close to being out.
So let's start here at 610-632-0975. Davis on a text line. Feel the Davis difference. Burlington, we love them. I just did a quick scan of YouTube. I'm not going to read every single comment, but man, it's all over the place. Like,
so it's like people are erratic on their opinions.
There's the relaxed crowd. It's only 4 games, which, hey,
that's a different discussion.
Totally understand.
Yeah, I agree with them.
I'm not.
One in 3, I agree with those people completely.
I also see the complete opposite, which is this team, BLOWS, is the very first comment from our man Kieran. Like, so this is where we're at.
Kieran got up with a little piss and vinegar this morning.
We're at they really, really stink. And relax, it's only 4 games. And that kind of tells me just where you were at going into the season.
Yeah.
Like, if you were somebody that was the wake me up or like this team's not going to win anything, then you're this team sucks crowd. If you're somebody that's, I would say more like Connor, right? Where you let's see how it plays out and they're going to win games. And I'm kind of with you on that one too. There's a lot of things I hate about this team. You're the relax, it's only 4 games crowd. And now I see Tony on the YouTube chat. Bader homered yesterday. Oh, wait, he's in San Francisco. We're now at the point where we're seeing what other players on the Phillies used to do and what they're doing now. Because that's one of those guys where there really is no explanation as to why he's not on the baseball team, right? A guy like Harrison Bader. The Phillies off season, once more, everything that we have said about the Phillies going into this year, wake me up when October comes, or what are they going to do at the trade deadline? Is this line of construction going to work? It hasn't worked the last couple postseasons. They've brought everything upon themselves. So, yeah, sure, you have every right, and you're entitled to say it's only 4 games. Don't freak out. Get it. I'm with you. It's only 4 games. But everybody that's upset and pointing out the flaws and pointing out why this isn't going to work and why that's not going to work, it's because Dave Dombrowski goes on the podium and says, we got a good club. We're just one throw away. And then they don't make any moves of note.
The people who are saying it's early are absolutely correct. The people who are upset about Rob Thompson's strategies not being able to be explained are absolutely correct. You're all over the place. There's nothing to worry about as far as a 1-3 start. You're gonna have 1-4 stretches, 2-6 stretches during the course of a regular season. You don't want it at the beginning of the year, and you certainly don't want to have it at home starting the year, but you're gonna. That's the way it works. The Phillies had a soft schedule to start the year, and they're not taking advantage of it early. Hopefully they will. Hopefully it'll get going.
Hey, maybe the Nationals are this year's surprise team, Johnny.
No, Connor told me they stink. And
they stink.
Connor, I'm going to be shocked if they win 75. I'll be shocked if they win 75. That's around the number that I'll put the Nats.
I can't believe you're saying that about the first place Nationals.
I think their over-under was like 59.5.
That's why I said I'll be shocked if they win 75. If they win 70, I'm not going to be shocked.
By the way, Phils are the only team not 3-1 in the National League East.
Yeah, everybody's 3-1, and
they're
we're
1-3. Standings check in.
It's like,
we just checked the standings.
It's like, who cares?
March 31st.
Who
Johnny.
cares? Like, who cares?
So I
Folks.
saw a comment from Stank You Up on the YouTube chat.
What's up, Stank?
The Nationals had 30 hits, and we're supposed to relax. Give me a break. He then follows up with saying, and don't tell me people wouldn't be hooting and hollering if this team was 4-0. I totally understand. You're right. Like,
He's
if the Phillies
exactly
came
right.
out the gate 4-0, we'd say, oh, look at this
By the way,
baseball team. You're right.
Is anybody telling him that? Like, nobody's telling them that. We're not telling them that. Like, I mean, the people would be going nuts.
I just can't go as far as, all right, they're 1-3, fire Rob.
Well,
they're not going to make the playoffs, this, that.
This close. This close.
That close to what?
This close to being out on Rob Thompson. Completely.
You could be
I've seen
out
the three.
on him. Are you saying
I've seen,
fire him
no, I'm being
this early on?
Where I'm being
Elaine Vigneault?
Well, I'm being.
Are we doing the hockey?
No,
the hockey thing?
I'm this close because I can't take it anymore. I can't take a leader who can't explain himself.
Lavi? I always love that. Let's start the
Hockey
season
does
with a
that.
coach and fire a guy 3 games in.
Hockey does that.
Let's do an entire training camp
and then make
and
a move.
fire the guy 3 days. I don't get that, man. Speaking of the Flyers.
It's very hockey. That's
It
a
is
very
very
hockey thing to do.
Speaking of hockey and the Flyers, thank God for the Pittsburgh Penguins yesterday. Can't believe I just said those words. Penguins beat the Islanders, which is a good thing for the Flyers. And the Flyers are back in action tonight. And, Johnny, today's a special day. It is debut day
Oh, my.
in the city of Philadelphia. We'll talk about that coming up next. We'll try to discuss some of the other big debuts in recent memory. But 2 in 1 day?
It's amazing.
Something that kind of gets you back excited after the Sixers and Phillies last night. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A buzzkill of a night. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers came up short against the Heat last night in South Beach, 119-109 the final. Miami had a 14-0 run in the final minutes of the game to ice things. The Sixers now are a game and a half back of the Raptors and Hawks, who are tied at 5-6 in the East. They play the Wizards tomorrow night. The Phillies got demolished by the Nationals last night, 13-2 the final. Taijuan Walker allowed 4 runs in the top of the first, and it was all downhill from there. Ended up allowing 7-6 earned. Justin Crawford was not in the lineup yesterday. Just the 4th game of the season. Rob Thompson, who was ejected in the first inning, talked before the game about the decision to sit Crawford.
Just to give him a little reprieve from all this left-handed starters. And, but, I mean, he handles lefties pretty good normally.
So why do you say that's a fair question? Game 2 is tonight at 6:40 p.m. We'll see if Crawford's back in the lineup, but we know that Andrew Painter will be on the mound. His MLB debut. He'll be facing off against P.J. Poulin in the pitching matchup. Not the only big debut in the city. Flyers have a big one in Washington against the Caps tonight at 7. Porter Martone expected to make his debut, so you can hear that game live here on the Fanatic. You're not going to want to miss it. Mark Jackson joins us coming up at 8:05 to talk Sixers. Rob Motti joins us live from the NFL owners meetings at 9:30. This update is brought to you by Staples. From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in store, or you can shop online. Staples, that was easy. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
Middays with Marks. I love me. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
This hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White, they're here for the pro.
6:30 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic on debut day. Not that we're going to stop reacting to yesterday's Phillies debacle where they lose 13-2. We're not going to stop talking about the Sixers loss to the Miami Heat where the Heat go on a 14-0 run. The end of the game was insane. I mean, it wasn't great basketball, but both teams were playing as if it was Game 6, 7 of the NBA Finals. That's why I don't totally agree with the effort thing, because they were both teams diving for loose balls, jumping for every single rebound possible. Like, I saw a great atmosphere. I just wish it wasn't the Sixers. Like, I could have watched that game and been extremely entertained if it was Heat versus Bulls. And I go, wow, these two teams are really getting after it. It's just a shame that the Bulls shots aren't going in. Unfortunately, the Sixers shots weren't going in. I am a Sixers fan, so I was upset with the result.
I have two different texts from people that I know. One of them agreeing with you, one of them agreeing with me, going, what is Andrew thinking? It's the same old Sixers. Why is he looking to you like you're speaking Chinese? He says. And another
same old Sixers where they come up small in a big spot, sure, but I can't say lack of effort.
And then the other one saying, John, they're fighting their asses off, and this is a team that's still trying to find their way.
I'm tired of that excuse.
The Sixers trying to find their way, and that's exactly what I said.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I said, stop. You can't use that with the Sixers.
Well,
I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, someone else may be, and if you are, that's okay. We're just going to disagree on that.
Yeah, as much of a Sixers honk as I am, I'm tired of we didn't have enough time to gel and blah,
come
blah,
on.
That.
At
Sure,
what point
year 1, year 2, you want to say that? This is year 10.
At what point do we put expectations on the Sixers? At what point do we say enough's enough? And last night, the effort in that game was sporadic. And it was sporadic. It was good. Then it seemed like they were asleep. Then it was this huge energy rush, which was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And then it was lethargic.
I did not see much lethargic.
I thought the third quarter push, I was like, wait a minute here. I really thought they had that game. And then the fourth quarter, I'm thinking they got this.
Yeah.
When I texted you guys in the fourth quarter, I'm like, they just got to close this out. I was feeling good.
And a 14-0 run happens.
Yeah, just couldn't find a bucket was more what it felt like.
I think
the
they
offensive
changed it.
sets need to be a little different.
They were offensive sets?
They changed things up,
yeah,
too, which wasn't good. Embiid was playing in the paint. They moved him to the top of the key. It's Nick Nurse. And
what was that? What was that in the fourth quarter?
I don't know, man.
Second half of the fourth quarter. I'm not talking about the whole fourth quarter.
When the Heat took over. Yeah, I don't know, Johnny. But we're not just going to talk about the doom and gloom of yesterday, because yesterday sucked.
It sucked.
We have a lot to get excited for tonight. We have another big Flyers game after another night last night where you get a little bit of help. Penguins beat the Islanders yesterday.
No, it's a help,
Johnny.
man. It's a help. Penguins right now, 90 points. So the Penguins are in second place in the division. Again, second and third place in the division make the playoffs guaranteed. So second place is 90 points right now. So you're 4 points behind the Penguins with a game in hand. And you are 3 points behind the third place Islanders with 2 games in hand. So right now, if you can win your 2 games in hand, you're ahead of the Islanders.
Damn right.
And you are 2 points behind the wild card team, the last wild card team. You're 2 points behind them with a game in hand.
And the crazy thing is, not only do we have the Flyers 7 o'clock puck drop tonight, we're scoreboard watching because
every team's playing tonight.
Ottawa
that matters.
plays at 7. You're 2 points back of them. They're the first team. No, you're tied with them point-wise.
But they're
the first team looking in.
And they're playing at Florida, which the other night I told you San Jose's not doing us a favor. I was thinking, look, tonight, Florida's not doing us a favor. That's the way I'm looking at that game. But it could happen.
It could happen.
The 2-time Stanley Cup champs are really just sort of limping in at this point. The Carolina at Columbus is one to watch. It's a home and home Tuesday and Thursday. First game's at Columbus, second game's at Carolina. There's a chance for the Carolina sweep. Carolina's a good team.
Yeah.
We would really appreciate a Carolina sweep.
This feels like, hear me out here. Walk with me. Hold my hand and walk and talk with me.
You're married, but I'll walk next to you.
This feels like '07 Phillies territory. Remember, the Phillies weren't in the playoffs yet.
And you're just waiting for.
You want them to get in. You want to see the young guys get, the Rollins and Howard and Utley. You want to see the young cats get their first crack at it. You're not saying World Series.
No.
Just get into the damn playoffs. And every night, what were we doing other than watching the Phillies? We were watching that Mets score.
And watching the Mets collapse.
And we are now watching the Flyers every night, a young team. This is the beginning toward that next step in this organization. And we're scoreboard watching every single night. It reminds me of '07. I hope that there's the similar result where they sneak in.
I was wishing. So yesterday, I was wishing Jason Martinez a happy birthday for reaching another one, because he's been battling to make sure he reached that one. There's 9 games left, and Mert and I were doing the math, and we both came up with the same number, 98. So 6-3. 6-3 seems doable.
Yeah.
And both of us were looking at 98. 99, we thought was an absolute in. 98 looks in. 99. So if you go 6-3, I think the Flyers are going to be having a playoff series that you've been wanting, that I've been wanting to see. I've been wanting to see people in their Flyers jerseys.
Hell yeah, man.
With shorts on.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Out in the parking lot, having a beer, then rolling into a playoff game. It would just be great. We'll see what happens. But I think that 99, I think, is a guarantee.
Give us the win tonight.
And then
Thursday, the Xfinity Mobile Arena, Johnny,
will be a zoo.
Will be shaking. Like it's going to, the concourse will be shaking when they host the Red Wings on Thursday. Get the win tonight. Now, tonight's a special night because not only is it another night to watch the Flyers and scoreboard watch, which I'm excited about that period because we've not had that for a very long time. We also get to watch 2 debuts. 2 debuts, one that's, I'm not going to say long overdue. It's unfortunate that he got hurt, but we've been hearing about Andrew Painter for a long time. Porter Martone just got drafted in 2025, so it's not as long of a wait for Porter Martone. But when they selected him, you just heard nothing but stories after story after story about how good this guy is. And we're getting both at the same day, same time, kind of. At least we have the 20-minute buffer. Andrew Painter's 6:40 first pitch against the Nationals tonight before puck drop with Porter Martone and the Flyers against the Caps.
What are the odds of that? Like, what are the odds that 2 potentially transformational players for organizations are going to debut for Philadelphia teams in the same day?
Right, transformational is a big word for it because Andrew Painter's expected to be a top end of your rotation guy moving forward.
Exactly.
And Porter Martone's supposed to be one of your better players moving forward.
I mean, when we've seen Christopher Sanchez move up to be right up there with Zach Wheeler. Mm-hmm. Zach Wheeler's going to move on, and then you're going to need somebody to be up there shoulder to shoulder with him, and so there's not a drop-off. And it looks like that there's a real good chance that he could be that.
So how do you balance tonight? Tonight's it has to be double screen. But
Flyers are going to get the first priority on the big screen.
I agree.
And the Phillies are going to get the iPad.
I agree because here's why. I can, when the Phillies are batting, turn the volume up. If I hear a crack, I look down. But Flyers, it's like you're locked in on the puck. But whenever Andrew Painter's on the mound, maybe you're looking down at your iPad a little bit more, or laptop or phone, however you use your second screen. But I do believe, I agree with you, Johnny. I think Flyers get top priority because we're talking about playoff push.
Yes, I mean the Phillies have all summer to get all that priority. The Flyers tonight, it's too huge to pass up. Tonight's a really, really big night.
Connor, I imagine you're going Phil's top priority?
Well, I'm going Phil's in person because I'm heading down to see.
You're going to the building.
Yeah.
You know what? That's another one. All right.
I like that idea,
though, Connor. Do we have a poll yet?
Yes, we do.
Can we have a second one?
Yes, we can do a
We
second.
can have dueling polls. All right. It's all good, man. Dr. Avenatti does no wrong. All right. I'm curious. Are more people top priority Painter or Martone today, but put in 2 other options, going to Painter or going to Martone? Because there's people that are going to make the trip to D.C. That's not a bad trip.
Our man Jeff from D.C. will be there tonight.
Well, he lives in the area.
He's going to be like our correspondent tonight.
But Flyers fan, that's an easy train ride.
Yeah, it's not bad. I just wonder if the weeknight plays into that. It's going to keep some people away from being able to do that. But there's a lot of Flyers fans down in that area.
I also wonder how many people go, you know what? I don't want to miss this.
Yeah.
I made the trip to D.C. when Bryce Harper had his first game against the Nationals as a Philly. I made the drive.
Were you in the right field crowd?
No, I went media credential.
Oh, okay.
With my nose up in the air. I made the drive to D.C. because I wanted to be in person for the introduction and his first at-bat. And I stayed like 5 or 6 innings because I had to come back here and do my job the next day, so I made the drive back. But I made the trip just to see Harper as a Philly, his debut going up against his old team. I bet you there's somebody that goes, wait, Martone? Like a diehard Flyers fan. Martone is making his debut. I'm buying a train ticket and I'm getting down there.
And I could be right
down there.
By the way, it really is a really easy train trip. We
Yeah,
love the Amtrak down there. It's a really easy train trip. So if you're thinking about it, you could be thinking about it right now and you could do it.
When's the last time, and this is something we could throw in on the text line, Davis on the text line, you were this excited for a debut? And I'm talking about like a rookie. I'm not talking about...
For me, it was Mishkov. But the thing is that with Martone, I have much more data because of him being a guy who played American hockey this year.
Sure.
I got to see Martone highlights twice a week.
Right.
And got to see extensive Martone highlights. Got to see him play a few games. It's different. Mishkov, it was just you're watching clips of Mishkov.
Right.
You know what Martone is supposed to be. Whether he delivers on it, we're going to find out.
All right, coming up next, we'll check the Davis on the text line. We'll check the poll from Dr. Ivan Appel. You can text in the show. You can leave a voice memo, 610-632-0975. Let's react to last night, which sucked, Sixers-Phillies. Let's also look ahead to tonight, which is great for the future. Painter, Martone, also just the Flyers making their playoff push. We want to hear about that coming up next as well. And just because last night sucked does not mean the Flyers didn't get much help. So what we're going to do is give you a little look in at where we stand on the final day of March. Flyers' chances of getting to the playoffs, forget percentages. We're just going to look at it. Johnny gave you the number 98. Let's go through that next. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Got something to say about
This is back from the break. I wonder what they're going to get into.
It is 6:47 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Quick note that I just saw a story from Adam Schefter. Sorry, I was not awake at 1:45 this morning.
What happened?
To see when it was posted. Deshaun Watson has a great chance to be the Cleveland Browns starter this year. So Jimmy Haslam, because the league meetings are going on right now, and we have some stuff from Nick Sirianni that we'll play for you later. Jeffrey Lurie is going to speak today to members of the media, so we'll have some stuff to react to tomorrow. But Jimmy Haslam is the owner of the Cleveland Browns.
He is.
And just last season, he called the trade for Deshaun Watson, quote, a big swing and a miss. Yesterday, he says that he has a great chance, and there's a chance for a fresh start because they now have new head coach Todd Monken. I forgot this guy existed, quite frankly.
So did I.
I the only thing I really remember of him is that he's a despicable human being. But he might start for the Cleveland Browns this year.
I will tell you this. I watched Deshaun play high school football. He's from Gainesville. He's like he played in the same league that, where like Liv's high school was in.
Sure.
Same what do you call class. And I watched him. He was amazing. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, him, they're amazing players. If you had told me, and I got to interview him times, if you had ever told me that he was going to end up being the person that he's become, never would have believed it.
Yeah. Oh.
Never would have. I'm telling you, I never would have ever believed it.
Well, he's
not for the life of me.
He's got a fresh start with head coach Todd Monken.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Todd Monken, I can promise you, if anybody can use him, it's Todd Monken.
Sure.
I think he'll find a way to use him.
I just find that organization so funny.
Oh, they are.
All right. What do we have on the Davis Honda text line, Connor? You can feel the Davis difference at 610-632-0975. No, you can check them out in Burlington, but you can text the Davis Honda text line at the number I just gave you. Phillies with a horrific loss last night, losing the Nationals 13-2. Here's the line for Taijuan Walker yesterday, where he had really good stuff, according to Rob Thompson. 4 2/3, 10 hits, 3 walks, struck out 2, 6 earned runs allowed. The Nationals compiled 17 hits. How about Jose Alvarado's line? A third of an inning, 3 hits, 2 walks, a strikeout, and 4 earned runs. The best pitcher on the day was Tim Meza. He went 2 shutout. After that, it was infielder Dylan Moore, who pitched 2/3 of an inning in relief.
Does it not bother you when you hear Rob Thompson say, yeah, he had really good stuff?
Yeah. I don't need to hear it. How about that? I don't need to hear it.
I mean,
I don't
it's
need
just,
Rob Thompson.
I mean, I just can't even.
I'd rather him just say not our day than say good. He had good stuff out there.
He honestly, he's becoming cartoonish, and that's why I'm saying, Connor, I'm that close. I just can't take it.
What do we have on the text line?
All right, so this texter checks in, Mike from Virginia, and says, in a vacuum and for any team, it's only 4 games for the Phillies. But this isn't a vacuum, and this isn't just any team. It's an all-star team in a top market. Top of the order makes a combined $1 billion, so there are expectations. It's normal to expect more. It's abnormal to forgive a slow, emotionless start.
Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Bohm. We already gave you the number. They're batting 125 collectively this season. And the reason why it's up as high as 125 is because Trey Turner had 1 2-hit game and Alec Boehm had a 2-hit game. They went a combined 1 for 17 last night.
That's
against
incredible.
a guy that doesn't exist. I still don't believe Foster Griffin is a real person. He was the starting pitcher for the Nationals yesterday, and in like typical Phillies fashion, the guy that nobody ever heard of, the guy that has not even pitched in the major leagues in like 3 years, decides to go out there and pitch 5 strong innings. You would take 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs from Taijuan Walker any night, right? Like, that's what you would take. Taijuan Walker's getting paid $80 million. Foster Griffin doesn't exist. He's not a real human being. And he pitched that way against
Austin
the Phillies
said
yesterday.
it this morning, and it honestly sort of pissed me off. Like when Austin was like, yep, another no-name pitcher, dominates the Phillies. And it honestly, just hearing it was pissing me off.
It happens all the time.
Because it just is, it's something where you go, that can't really happen. That can't really be can't really happen.
Man,
right?
is it every time. What else we got on the Davis Honda text line?
Kristen Lancaster checks in and says the problem about using the early in the season excuse is it's been this way for years with the offense and Rob giving guys days off that should be playing every day to get more into a rhythm. We can't take it anymore.
Yeah, the problem is it's happened in the playoffs, and that's our lasting memory of the 2025 Phillies was the bats once again going ice cold. Dave Dombrowski can look you in the eyes and say the whole, we were one throw away, John Middleton, when the wine was flowing all over the place the other night, if Christopher Sanchez's strike was called a strike, Game 5 would have been here. Nothing else would have happened, right? The Phillies would have won Game 4, and they would have come back to Game 5, and the Dodgers did not want to come here, even though the Dodgers won both games of the series in Philadelphia.
This team is really going to be
that's the message that's coming from upstairs, that they're that close. There's almost no urgency from the leaders of this baseball team. And I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about ownership and management. That's not good.
That's the truth.
And now you're seeing it come out. We talked about it before opening day when Middleton had his comments about that guy, Harry Callis. He also talked about the Christopher Sanchez thing. And one of my takeaways was, man, if your boss is just saying, hey, just stay the course. But the course has been okay, but not great. I don't know. What player is going to say, all right, yeah, that's a good fiery message?
There's none.
There's none. It's just, all right, yeah, we are good. You're right, guys. We see it too. We're a good baseball team. Just got to get to the playoffs. Got to get hot at the right time is something that fans should say, not Dave Dombrowski.
Let him off the hook, right? Let him off the hook. I'm here, it's just it's a lackadaisical approach.
It is.
It's the word of the day.
It is. All right, well, let's check the poll of the day. How about that?
Uh-oh.
Dr. Avidan Appel. We got dueling polls today. Iron Mountain Men's Health. Dr. Avidan Appel can help you with that. Because the Flyers, who are 2 points out of the final wild card spot, that's where we stand today. There are two other teams with 86 points. Ottawa, who is in action tonight, and Detroit, who you play Thursday. That's going to be, if they win tonight, Johnny, Thursday's going to be absolutely insane at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. And again, tonight's game, 7 o'clock, right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. We don't have any conflict Sixers-Flyers until Friday. So Flyers tonight on The Fanatic, Sixers tomorrow on The Fanatic, Flyers Thursday on The Fanatic.
Perfect.
What do we have on our dueling polls today?
So our first poll here, whose debut are you more excited for tonight? Andrew Painter or Porter Martone? 69% of responders saying Andrew Painter, only 31% saying Porter Martone. And then we had a follow-up on how you're watching, whether it's on TV or in person. 61% are saying Painter on TV. 22% Martone on TV. So obviously more people not getting the chance to go to the game. Only 11% are going to see Painter in person, 6% Martone in person.
So far, and then that stuff's going to change.
I like that some people are going in person to see Martone.
That's awesome. I think that's awesome. I'm not surprised that the majority of people are voting Painter. It's because you've heard of this kid for 3 or 4 years now. But I just can't help but look at a kid that might make an impact to a team that's trying to make a push for the playoffs.
See, it's the game is just so much more important.
It's huge.
The Phillies game is Game 5.
That's why they get TV today.
Yes.
And the Phillies get laptop.
Yeah, Phillies are going to be on the iPad.
Or if you're going in person.
But I think it's going to be, if it's warm enough after school, it's going to be out on the back deck.
Ooh,
too.
I love that, yeah. Scream for all your neighbors.
It's warm enough. Oh, yeah. The McLaughlins can be kept up. Who cares?
All right, coming up next. For those of you who are already out on the Phillies, 4 games in, is there a curse that we have to worry about? It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
2 double-digit losses. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers came up short against the Heat last night in South Beach. 119-109, a 10-point loss. Miami had a 14-0 run in the final minutes of the game to ice things. Sixers now are a game and a half back of the Raptors and Hawks, who are tied at the 5th and 6th spots in the East. They play the Wizards tomorrow. The Phillies got demolished by the Nationals last night. 13-2 the final, an 11-run loss for them. Taijuan Walker allowed 6 in his start. and it was down, 6 earned, 7 total. Not a great night. Justin Crawford was not in the lineup yesterday in just the 4th game of the season as well. An interesting move by manager Rob Thompson, who was ejected in the first inning. Again, banner night for the Phillies. Game 2 is at 6:40 p.m. tonight. Something to get excited about, though. Andrew Painter makes his Major League debut for the Fightins. He'll face off against P.J. Poulin in the pitching matchup. And it's not the only big debut. Flyers have a big one in Washington against the Caps at 7 p.m. Porter Martone expected to make his debut. Anthony Sanfilippo told us about that yesterday.
He will play tomorrow night in Washington. Barring anything happening with fails a physical or some kind of paperwork goes awry today, I expect he will play tomorrow.
You can hear that game live right here on The Fanatic. You're not going to want to miss it. This update is brought to you by Comer & Cross. At Comer & Cross Garage Floors, like pulling into a new car showroom every night. Get a free estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-FLOOR or at comercross.com. I'm Connor Thomas for them of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Bad, at least most of the time. Now let's listen to more Kincade and Salciunas before I change my mind.
It is 7 a.m. here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. 4 hours from now, Brandon Graham will be making an announcement, Johnny.
Jeez. Is this Groundhog Day? Where's Bill Murray? Can I hear Sonny and Cher?
I just wonder what is it going to be?
What, like...
He already did the...
We've already been through every one of the Brandon Graham press conferences. What press conference do we need?
Well, and he was at coach's ceremony.
Like, is he coming back? If he's coming back, which I think he said he is, then we don't need a press conference to say you're coming back. You're part of the team. If you're coming... If you're
I
on
don't
the
know.
team,
Is he under contract?
If you're on the team and you say you're coming back, like, there's no need for a press conference for it.
He's not under contract. Maybe he's retiring. Again?
Then we're going to have another...
All right. Well,
it'll still be shorter than the Jason Kelce speech.
That comes your way at 11 o'clock today. Brandon Graham's going to announce either that he's playing one more year or that he's retiring.
Does John Marks take it live?
No.
Thank you.
That's my
Thank you.
guess.
Middays with Marks. Please don't take it live.
They might.
Oh, come on.
It's PG.
They can
People
do
like
whatever they
PG.
can do whatever
Yes,
they
that's
want.
fine. You can love them. It's great, but we don't need another retirement press conference. We've already had it.
Well, maybe it's a comeback press conference, a future retirement.
We've already
press
had
Just
that.
came-
We've
yeah,
already.
he just
By the
came
way, we've
back.
already had that press conference too.
Maybe it's nothing to do with football.
Maybe it doesn't.
Maybe.
By the way, we've had the-
Olympic flag football.
Hell
Maybe
yeah.
he's announcing that he's going to be part of it.
By the way, here's Tony checking in. We've already had 2 press conferences from Brandon Graham in his career saying he's coming back. So this would be the 3rd. We don't need these press
Yeah,
conferences.
I just don't get like he's got time on his hands. Like I
don't get
how many
it.
press conferences do you need, man? Look, I would love for him to come back.
we would love him back.
Play his
You wanna
10
be
snaps.
back?
He played a role last year in his 10 snaps.
I'm looking for 15,
I
but
just
I'd be
don't
fine
need.
with that.
I
yeah.
just
I don't need another press conference. Come on.
Who's it hurting?
It's just
Nobody.
what do you
It's-
need it for?
Yeah.
Like, stop.
The big tease of coming up at 11 o'clock.
It's the press conference.
Yeah, so if you know what it is, don't fall for the tease.
Press
Totally
conference.
By the way, speaking of the tease, how about an in-segment tease? Coming up later on this segment, Nick Sirianni spoke yesterday. He had the lunch, the little table.
Oh, he's had lunch already.
the round table. It's bulk season, brother.
He's bulked.
Yeah,
He's
really
really
the guns are flashing.
He's not
Well,
playing. He didn't listen.
Not only the guns flash.
Oh, he's gonna look cut down season starts what like tomorrow, right? April 1st before the beach. Anyways,
Got some work to
I
do.
started mine early because I got Florida next week.
He's got some work to do.
It's all right. It's just a high protein diet. It'll go down. Shorts and t-shirt
And some
or
bread.
golf
A
shirt.
lot of bread, too.
Only guy in the shorts in the picture. Again, he either misses the picture, the coach's picture every year, or he's rocking shorts in the photo, which he did yesterday. But we'll talk about some of the things Nick Sirianni had to say with the members of the media yesterday later on this segment. But let's start with a potential curse. Now, here's the funny thing. I did not come up with this topic, Connor. This man did.
Yeah.
And I
interesting.
I question it because sometimes you're wishy-washy.
I didn't say anything about a curse, did I? The curse?
Hold on a second, sir. See, you're wishy-washy with
No,
what
it
you
could
believe
be.
in with
Could it
curses.
be our version of the Billy Goat curse? Could it be?
Let's see. Let's find the email. All right, Phillies High Hopes controversy. Phillies not being allowed to play Harry singing High Hopes in 2027 will be our version of the Billy Goat curse.
Yeah, everyone's going to be talking about it. And by the way, everybody's already talking about it now. I sent this to you guys over the weekend, and now it's a story. People are talking about it now after Sunday and after Monday. It didn't take a psychic vision. People are thinking there's negative vibes because of it.
I think John Kincaid's thinking it.
What they've done.
A jinx, you might say?
There is a I jinxed it. What they did over 20 grand. Over 20 freaking grand to take this money from Ghost Energy Drink, which, by the way, I realize is a Westchester business. I did not realize that until I found out yesterday.
Pro local business.
And I wish the local business is great. But the Phillies made a mistake here.
You know what's the
It's a
sad
mistake.
thing about all this is because we compliment the Phillies all the time about
We do. We're very big fans.
how well of an organization they are. Forget results. They are a great organization.
That building's
fantastic.
We love it.
The employees, every usher that they hire is salt of the earth. People. Dave McKay.
Oh my gosh.
Right, our man
Love
Davey. He does both the Xfinity Mobile Arena and the Citizens Bank Park.
But he's even better at Citizens Bank
Damn right
Park.
he is. They hire such great people. Every time you walk through the gate, right, the people doing the ticket scanning or the people that are handing you the giveaways, they're all so friendly. And we compliment the Phillies all the time of being such a family-run organization, but it doesn't get in the way of things. We have seen Flyers, totally different right now. We've seen the past where the Flyers were the family-run organization and it got in the way of things. And that became problematic, which is why they had to make some changes. And they brought back some former Flyers, but it's still going in a positive direction.
That is
the
correct.
Phillies have not allowed to get in their way. I still don't get the Harry thing and the way Middleton spoke of him with the glass of wine flow, the plastic cup of wine flowing. I don't get why he had to do it. And now, is there a curse?
Well, now, I mean, at least that's the perception. Is there that there's a negativity? There's a negativity around the Phillies organization and Middleton that hasn't existed. Because John Middleton has spent the money.
Yes, he absolutely
Has he spent the money well? I will disagree. I think this offseason was a horrendous spending of money. And I believe I will be proven right in the long term. I think I might be proven right in the short term. What I was telling them not to do is the spending of money that they did.
The real Muto was the biggest. Like I was
absolutely
totally
the biggest.
fine with Schwarber.
But
the real Muto one.
I wouldn't have done the Schwarber, but I mean, I understand why you would have. I'm not saying the Schwarber thing's a disaster. I would not have done that. I would not have done it, but it's just me. I think it clogs up everything as far as your roster and everything. And I think everything's been proven is they just don't have to throw him strikes in the postseason, and so he can hurt them. But it's now there's negativity about John Middleton, and there's a lot of it.
Look, there's negativity about Bryce Harper.
Well, he brought that on himself. John Middleton's now done it by his actions.
Yeah.
And the other night, Tim Kelly did him no favors. And I'm not blaming Tim at all.
No,
Tim did a great job.
Yeah.
But when he says to Tim Kelly, we have a statue of that guy.
Yeah.
That guy, John Middleton, that's a miscalculation. And the fact that and now Monster Energy, not Monster Energy, Ghost Energy. Ghost Energy is paying social media people to put out positive things on them about Harry the K's. Because I was getting flooded with it the other day, and other people influencers were going, hey, now the influencers are saying, hey, look, Ghost Energy, it's not bad, and they really love it. And then I saw an interview yesterday.
Is that my live read this upcoming break?
I saw an interview.
It's not.
I saw an interview.
But it could be. Ghost.
Where
Give us
they
a call.
are, they are out there now saying, oh, we love the honor. We honor Harry Callis. We're all about Harry Callis.
Look, I
I'm
can't
sure
blame.
they
I
love
can't
Harry
blame
Callis.
Ghost Energy, right? Like Ghost Energy to put down. They're trying to pump up their product.
They're trying to build up the brand.
Yeah, I can't blame them. It's
No.
John Middleton saying, okay.
Whoa. But you decide. You know when you enter into it. You know what you're entering into. You're taking Harry the K's and you're putting Ghost Energy on.
I bet you they didn't expect this backlash.
Well,
Which, shocker, a lot of companies don't understand that backlash comes.
Well, then I'm going to tell you, you didn't understand the community you live in.
Yeah.
And that is a cardinal sin. That's a cardinal sin. You don't understand the neighborhood you live in, the community you live in. You're going to take Harry. You're taking, hey, we're going to sell you Harry Callis's, Harry the K's.
Yeah.
And if you don't understand the impact that makes, that's shocking to me. Like that's like somebody's asleep at the wheel, and now it's this campaign of, hey, we love Harry Callis's legacy. Of course you do. Of course you do. Because he's the one who's beloved. Nobody likes a brand as much as they love Harry Callis.
Sure.
And so, look, I wish Ghost Energy all the best.
By the way, I will say, when I went back Saturday, didn't even notice it.
No, I'm not going to notice.
I looked Thursday.
And you wouldn't notice it
looked
again.
Weird. And then I went back Saturday, and I didn't look at it once.
Correct. You're not noticing. It's not something that you're noticing, but you already know that guy, that's what you're getting.
And,
that guy.
And Mrs. Callis was not happy.
Oh, no, they're $20,000. Over $20,000.
And John Middleton has plenty of $20,000
And he is not
rolling around.
And the arrogance of the napkin comment.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we could buy some napkins with it. It's like, let them eat cake.
Yeah.
It's such a billionaire comment. It's such a condescending comment to the fan base who adores Harry Callis. It's such a brain fart on his part.
Yeah.
I think the
wine didn't happen.
I think the sloshing glass of wine may have had something to do with it.
We've all had parties that we've pregame for, so I'm going to guess that wasn't his first glass of wine.
Yeah, but here's what I'm going to say to you. He's had a week to revisit it tonight, and nothing's been revisited.
Well, you know why? He's hoping that they were 3-1 instead of 1-3, and people would forget about it.
Whoa.
You start losing games.
No, they're never going to forget how you treat the memory of Harry Callis. And the thing is, I'm not saying, look, the only way it could be corrected is if Ghost Energy broke the contract. They have a contract for that space. So the only way it could be done is if Ghost Energy and them came to a deal and said, look, we're going to change it up. It's been done before in stadiums all over the country. They're not doing that. The fallout is theirs.
All right.
Fallout's theirs.
All right, we'll get back to our Davis Honda text line.
And if it's a goat?
On the Phillies as well. We got the Sixers reaction, but we're also excited. Flyers tonight and debut day. Painter and Porter Martone But before we get back to all that, league meetings going on in Phoenix, out in Arizona. And Nick Sirianni had the chance to speak to some members of the media. Not even going to play the A.J. Brown clip because it's the same. A.J. Brown's an Eagle.
He's a member of the Eagles.
We love him. All right, so it's the chalk answer, so I can't even dive too deep into it.
A.J. Brown is a member of the Eagles right now.
Yes. Les Snead yesterday did confirm that they made a call about A.J. Brown, and the Patriots said that the talks have died down.
Uh-huh.
Because, of course, they're going to die down until June 1st happens again.
Like when the deal's made already?
Well, maybe.
Could be.
But here is I want to start with Riq Woolen because that's one of like the biggest signings that the Eagles have made this offseason in terms of financials, right?
Yes.
Financial signing and higher upside than some of the other players that you sign. But there's still a lot of questions about Riq Woolen and Howie Roseman. We talked about what he had to say 2 days ago in the weird no audio press conference that took place. Not a single member of the media posted anything about any video or audio of Howie. Maybe Howie said, I don't like the way I look today.
Or it's let's just have a conversation.
That
and that happens.
Yeah,
that
but there's
happens.
full quotes that were being posted out.
No, but that's fine. But no, we're just having a conversation. I don't want video and I don't want audio.
But, Howie spoke highly of Riq Woolen, but also straight up called him out. Like, look, he gets in his own way sometimes. Sometimes he makes mistakes because of the energy that he brings onto the field. Not that it's a negative energy. It's just he gets in his own way sometimes. And here was Nick Sirianni, because you want to talk about fiery personalities.
Yeah, him and Riq.
We know that Nick Sirianni is one, and I always find it interesting when Nick yells at a player for being over the top with their energy. I go, yo, dude, you're doing arm bars with Kevin Petullo for getting first downs. Here's Nick Sirianni yesterday talking about Riq Woolen.
We're edgy as a football team. We like to show our excitement. Football, it's supposed to be fun. You can lose that sometimes, in high stressful situations that we're all in. But it's fun. It's fun to be in there. It's fun to be on the team. And I want those guys to show their emotion. I want them to show their excitement. I want them to show their personality within the rules of the game. And that's my job, is to be able to explain the job description for everybody and hey, this is what I want you to do, but you got to keep it in the right area. I'll never have a problem with someone being too edgy. I love that. And because I know that a lot of times you can see that and be like, man, this guy loves football. This guy loves to compete. And I'll always take a guy who loves football and loves to compete any day of the week. And then we can handle some of the other stuff.
Who are the edgy Eagles players?
Jalen Carter's definitely one.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's a problem. He's been a problem with his edgy. He's been suspended twice. He got kicked out of the first game of the year for it.
Cooper DeJean's got some spunk to him on the field.
Yeah, not to the point that he's having the coaches
he gets the personal foul, the taunting.
Yeah, he's gotten it before.
He had a couple early on in the season last year.
Okay.
So DeJean, that's
Sidney Brown if you go back a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's gone.
The Eagles' offensive lineman.
Offensive linemen don't do it.
Yeah, no, I think defense, they're the psychos, man. They're the ones that are putting the head down and hit.
Quinyon Mitchell, you can barely see if he has a pulse.
That's not true. He was getting into it with Baker Mayfield.
He talks a lot. Oh, he talks a lot. But he's not a player that is. He's not anything like Riq Woolen. He's nothing like Riq Woolen as a player. Riq Woolen is a guy causing his team problems on the field. He's doing stuff that Jalen Carter did, and on the field. And this is Nick. Nick talks about his team as if they reflect him. I think his team doesn't reflect him. I don't think his team really resembles him at all. I think his team, more often than not, especially his team leaders, Devontae, Jalen, they sort of look at him side-eyed.
Well, you want to talk about not having a pulse.
Yeah, but because you know what they're doing? They're there with assassin's mentality. They're to win. They stay even keel.
Sure, yeah. Like Super Bowl 57 is the prime example.
Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts. They're like even keeled, like go about your business guys.
I don't know about Goddard. Goddard gets a little fired up sometimes too.
But he's not doing things.
These guys.
He's not doing things where he's getting into where you get Big Dom involved. Like he's. I don't think that the way that Nick talks about his team, I think the leaders of his team tend to be not like him at all. They don't tend to reflect him. They tend to reflect a personality that's opposite of him.
They're fired up. They get fired up. I don't know. Defensive players get fired up all the time. If it wasn't for this stupid taunting penalty, nobody would say boo.
Yeah, the Reek Wallen thing really took off with the what was it, the AFC Championship game? Or NFC Championship
yeah,
game?
He had a bad.
Well, he lost his
personal
starting
foul.
job during the season because of it. During the season, he didn't start. He lost his starting job during the season because of his behavior on
Well,
the field.
it wasn't personal fouls, was it?
No, it was because of
Because
that. He couldn't
ability.
control his, but he also couldn't control his emotions.
He's a fiery personality.
Could not control his emotions. Couldn't keep his head in the game. That is his old coach why he did. So it's a concern that he's going to be able to.
Well, that's
have
why
that
he only got a 1-year deal, and you hope that.
at 15
Look,
million.
we
by the
saw
way.
that rookie season, man. The dude was a stud, and he had a better third season after the sophomore slump. So we'll see who Reek Wallen is. The other interesting one from yesterday. So on Friday of last week, Jeff Stoutland was on Nick Foles' podcast. Is it Dad's Season? Is that what it's called? Or is
SZN.
All right. So he's on Nick Foles' podcast, and they brought up the Eagles, and he said on the podcast that he still believes he might be involved in one way or another with the Eagles. Not on the sideline with the headset on, and he's not the offensive line coach, not the run game coordinator, but he might still be involved, maybe senior advisor of some sort, right? Football teams can come up with 75 different positions, especially for people with that much respect, right? You find a way to get Jeff Stoutland a job if he wants to stick around and he's not just giving you the middle finger after how things shaped up. But this was Nick Sirianni when he was asked about what Jeff Stoutland had to say on the podcast just this past Friday.
Obviously, we moved on with our staff and really enjoying working with these guys. Obviously, love the guys that are no longer part of our staff, and always will have a relationship with those guys and with everything they've done for our football team. But right now, we're just focused on the upcoming year with this staff. That there's so many steps that you have to go through to get yourself ready for OTAs, to get yourself ready for training camp, to get yourself ready for phase one. That's what we're in the process in right now of really focusing on that. And also, in this at this particular point, watching players and the with the upcoming draft coming up, and that's where our focus is right now.
Look, I don't blame if somebody wants a clean slate, right? Like, let's just completely clean house, even though you didn't completely clean house, but you get what I'm saying. Like, let's clean house. Let's move on. Let's not have a guy sticking around that people might start talking to instead of talking to the appropriate coaches in terms of what their position is. I get it. But if you're not going to do it now, you can't crawl back to him later. Like, if Jeff Stoutland is saying on the record that he would take some sort of role, a job, some sort of role with the Eagles, and then Nick Sirianni says no, you can't then all of a sudden crawl back to him like 6 weeks into the season and say, hey, can you come here and help us out?
Can't do it. So hopefully it's going to be a successful run. Let's put it this way. There's going to be a big change, though. And I heard Andrew Pacheco this week on Birds Digest. This weekend, you want to hear it 8 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday mornings.
Great job.
And he talked about the fact that he believes there's going to be a change in philosophy as far as the kind of offensive lineman that they draft. Not a Stoutland style, that they're going to be looking for a more athletic, get on out the edge and run and move and be more. So he expects things to be a lot different. So that's going to change too. We're going to wait and see. And if that happens, then that's not even having the players there that would in any way resemble anything that Jeff Stoutland wanted to have. So it'll be a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing something a little different.
We'll see how it goes, man. That's your big takeaway. And Nick Sirianni wearing shorts again. Nick
That's
Sirianni
great.
doesn't want to wear pants.
Show off the calves.
The pants maybe needs a different size. You can get them all in there. He'll be working hard.
Maybe he's
been
got a
swollen
12-pack.
He's swollen up. Could be.
All right, coming up next. So there's a new narrative from the angry sect of Phillies fans. We could talk about it. I'm not saying we don't talk about it. I just think we're playing the card a little too early. 4 games in, we'll get to it. I saw it on social media last night. I heard it in the building on Game 2 after the opening day win. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about that FanDuel Sportsbook app. Oh, it's a Tuesday. So obviously we're excited for the Flyers tonight. But we also have the Phillies game tonight. Andrew Painter's debut. You know what else we're excited about? Dinger Tuesdays back on FanDuel. FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, they're bringing Dinger Tuesdays back for another season. Customers choose their own reward every Tuesday to use on MLB bets. How will you play the game? So there's two options. Option one, the bet reset. Use this on your wager and you get refunded in bonus bets if your bet loses. So let's say you bet Kyle Schwarber to hit a home run today. And if Kyle Schwarber does not hit the home run, whatever money you put down, you get the bonus bets back. Or option two, maybe you feel really good about your bet. You can pick a 50% profit boost on your bet. Make your bet, activate the profit boost, and if it hits, that's extra winnings at no extra cost. But of course, if it doesn't hit, then you don't get the bonus bets back. So it's up to you. Do you feel really good about your bet, or do you just want to make a bet? And if you just want to make a bet, then I'd say option one. If you feel really good about your bet, you want the extra payout. That's option two. Make your choice, and the reward will be ready for you to use on your next MLB bet. Just visit FanDuel.com/local to choose your reward for MLB bets every Dinger Tuesday. FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball. You got to be 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A missed opportunity for the Sixers. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers came up short against the Heat last night down in Miami. 119-109 the final. The Sixers were up late, and Miami then finished the game with a 14-0 run in the final minutes, icing things out. The Sixers now a game and a half back of the Raptors and Hawks, trying to make their way out of the play-in tournament. They will play the Wizards tomorrow night. The Phillies got demolished by the Nationals last night, 13-2 the final. Taijuan Walker allowed 4 runs in the top of the first before the Phillies even came up to the plate. It was all downhill from there. Justin Crawford, surprisingly, not in the lineup yesterday, just the 4th game of the season. Rob Thompson, who was ejected in the first inning of last night's game, talked about the decision before.
Just to give him a little reprieve from all this left-handed starters. But, I mean, he handles lefties pretty good normally.
So a little bit of back and forth in the thought process with Rob Thompson. We'll see what the lineup looks like in Game 2, 6:40 p.m. tonight for the Phillies against the Nationals. But we know Andrew Painter on the mound making his Major League debut facing off against P.J. Poole. Not the only big debut. The Flyers have a big one in Washington against the Caps at 7. Porter Martone is expected to make his NHL debut. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. Mark Jackson of NBC Sports Philadelphia joins us at 8:05 to talk Sixers. Rob Motti joins us live from the NFL owners meetings at 9:30. And you can join Andrew Salciunas this Friday, April 3rd at Giovanni's in Sarah City from 6 to 8 p.m. for the Corona 97.5 The Fanatic Sixers pregame party. You could win Sixers tickets to a future home game. Must be 21 and older. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic.
Fanatic.
7 a.m. hour is brought to you by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the BetParks app. Play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, I'll check the text line here coming up in a moment. Also, the poll of the day. But I want to talk about this narrative that I've been seeing on social media, Johnny, and when I went to the game Saturday. So I went to the home opener, opening day Thursday. And then Saturday, I ran to a couple of people when I was walking around a little bit. And
you heard a narrative, or was it offered to you?
I've seen it on social media, but somebody said to me, one of the Phillies fans that were at Citizens Bank Park, well, it's a win-win for us. I go, what do you mean?
What's a win-win?
If the Phillies continue to win baseball games, great. We're happy that they win.
That's great.
If they lose, well, at least they would fire Rob, and now Don Mattingly would be the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh, boy.
And that is, I saw it again last night. And look, I can't defend Rob Thompson today.
I'm glad to hear.
There's nothing to defend.
I'm glad to hear that, and I was really, really proud of Connor Thomas.
Well, what do you want me to say? There's no reason for the decision to be made.
Can you play the Crawford audio?
Yeah.
This was wrong. In case you guys didn't know, Justin Crawford didn't start yesterday, despite being like your best hitter through three games.
The best hitter in the entire minor leagues last year against lefties. The best Philly in the organization in their minor league career against lefties.
Here was Topper yesterday.
Just to give him a little reprieve from all this left-handed starters. But, I mean, he handles lefties pretty good normally. So.
That makes no sense. We're gonna give him a day off because he's facing all these lefties, even though he plays well against lefties. Like that doesn't make sense.
And I know
at all.
Look, everybody loves Rob, right? Everybody's very cautious about. Don't want to criticize Rob. Everybody likes Rob.
I don't think that's true.
No, you know what?
I think he gets the biggest wide berth that I've ever seen.
I don't believe that's true. He gets the Brett Brown treatment. He's a really nice guy, but
well, he is a really nice guy. He's a wonderful man.
Right, but there are times where people don't want to just say what they have to say about Rob Thompson. They have to lead with great guy.
That's why
that's what we do with Brett Brown every single year.
I can't do it anymore. I mean, it's just, he makes no sense. He makes no sense. There was nothing about his commentary that made any sense. And that's bad.
Yeah,
that's
I just
bad.
like that one. You just can't defend it. But I knew this was going to come. I didn't think it was going to happen 4 games into the season.
Why do you think they brought Don Mattingly here? Because there were multiple reasons.
Nick Castellanos didn't like having a manager that didn't strap him up.
They knew he was going to be gone.
He's got 1 hit. So
they knew he was going to be gone. So they didn't do it because of Nick Castellanos. They knew he was going to be gone. So why do you think they brought him here?
Just more baseball guys.
Preston's in the building.
Yes.
So they already had and Preston is going to be Dave Dombrowski. He's going to ascend to that role.
It's a matter of when.
And it's a matter of when, and I believe it will be after this year. That's what my belief system is, and I think it's pretty good math, that Preston will be running this organization. So Don Mattingly's here. He's Don Mattingly's son. And I believe, too, the organization says, yeah, we have a guy who is our hitting coach who is buddy-buddy with 3 of our guys.
Sure.
And if he wasn't there, we weren't getting Schwarber back. But we have one of the greatest hitters in modern era baseball that we can bring in who can also help our hitters potentially get better. And I think that's why he's here.
It's another set of eyes and a guy that's a baseball
which
lifer.
is shocking to me. You have to hire another guy to do the job.
Why would that be shocking? Why does it hurt?
Just let him be the hitting coach. He'd do it.
But you don't have to fire the other guy who guys on your team like.
I don't care who they like. The results suck.
They don't suck, John.
Yeah,
okay, you guys have
we can have this hitting coach,
and that's good. You guys can have a different. You guys can have every coach if they let down in biggest spots 3 years in a row, they usually will change coaches. They'll usually change coaches.
Sure, but saying
so. That's what I'm saying is they usually will change coaches, and I don't think that the majority of fans in any way align with your thinking on this.
Well,
Kevin Long is doing
I think
a good
lot
job.
Of people value the hitting coach more than I would. Don Mattingly is not going to hold the bat for somebody.
He isn't, But no position coach is going to do that in any sport. But what do they do in sports? They replace them.
Who's the Dodgers hitting coach?
They replace them. I don't know who the Dodgers
Nobody
hitting
does.
I'm not a Dodgers fan.
Nobody knows who the Dodgers hitting coach is because it doesn't matter. Because they have Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman and Will Smith and all these guys. Like, it doesn't matter as much as people think it does.
Then have Don Mattingly do it. Then just have Don Mattingly do it, one of the greatest hitters in modern day.
I've told you ever since we started the show. Say it again. Kevin Long could get a 10-year contract extension today, and I go, okay. Kevin Long could get fired today, and I'd say, okay.
Well, he's here as
yeah.
It doesn't, Okay.
He's here as the Bryce wants him here, Turner wants him here, Schwarber wants him here.
Well, they start off the season red hot,
and Schwarber, Turner, and Harper are three of the biggest reasons in the postseason. Where they're not even they don't even throw them strikes.
Right, but that's not a Kevin Long thing. It's just not. It's a them thing. It's a players thing.
I agree with you, Connor. I'm not disagreeing with you. But what do teams do? They don't fire the players. They fire a coach, and they change up the messaging.
You don't want complaints.
They change things up, and they don't let guys say, he's our buddy. We want him here.
Here's the
problem.
problem.
That's what they do.
Here's the problem. Again, I'll go back to Dave Dombrowski and John Middleton. We were just this away. We were this away. You want to talk about complacency?
It's complacent.
They're the ones that are complacent. They're the ones that they're happy with what happened last year. Would they have been happier with a win over the Dodgers and a World Series berth? Yes.
They're thinking 96 wins. They wanted to hang it.
They're happy.
They're like,
I don't think they're happy.
Dude, did you hear anything from those guys? Like, we got a good club. Like, we just ran into a good team.
No,
like,
I did not.
That was the messaging from the beginning.
That's the difference. I don't hear what they say and just take that at face value. I logically look at a team that has been close and has not gotten over the hump that the whole fan base is ticked off at right now. And I don't sit here and think that the guys running this organization have their heads up their rears, where they're just sitting there all hunky-dory. It's fun. We're doing great.
After 23, Connor, I'd get you. Okay, even after 24, I might get you. After 23, 24, 25, I don't get you. I don't get that message being, I don't think they know what they're doing. They're just, that's not how they think. I'm not buying it because they have shown you it's 3 years in a row and there's no urgency. There's absolutely, you bring back JT Real Muto on a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
There's no urgency to them. And more importantly, they are. And there are Phillies beats that have written it. They have Kevin Long here because Schwarber wanted him here. That's why he's here.
Okay. I don't have any problem with it, and I don't see why you do. Like, it's okay if players like their coaches.
I want a coach that's actually going to change things up, but change up the approach. And there are changes of approach. I've watched hitting coaches in baseball. I watched Don Baylor is one that I got to watch up close and personal. I watched Don Baylor take hitters and watched what he did and watch hitters change hitters' approach, teaching young players. I want young players being taught things, and it's not working. It's not working with Kevin Long. It doesn't work. He's not developing talent. And he's not making, and more importantly, Turner, Schwarber, Harper were all before they ever came here. Did he play? Could he have played a part in it? He's not developing anybody else. He's not taking anybody else from point A to point B.
Justin Crawford could start this season.
Yeah, but not Kevin Long. He was the best hitter in AAA last year.
Gotcha.
Before he ever even knew Kevin Long. I mean, I'm not going to give Kevin Long's not getting credit for Justin Crawford.
No, I got you.
I mean, he was great.
You know
when he
who I
arrived
give
here.
credit to Justin Crawford? Justin Crawford.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
his
maybe Carl.
And his parents.
Yeah, Carl
And
gets some credit.
parents had
Carl
fingers
gets
to
it.
his
Carl
own.
gets a lot of credit.
Yeah.
And that picture of him when he was said 21 years from now.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
That's a great picture.
All right, what do we have on the Davis Honda text line? You can feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington. You can always text in. You can leave a voice memo as well at 610-632-0975. When it comes to the Phillies, are you on edge? Because we're 4 games in, and it seems like we're already talking about firing the manager and replacing with Donnie Baseball. What do we got on the text line?
Yeah, we've already got people looking at numbers. So Spaz checks in on the text line. Says Phil's team batting average currently 189, good for 27th in the MLB. That's disgusting. They also have the league worst run differential at -15.
Yeah, it's a bad start to the season.
It's 4 games.
I don't believe this will be the continuation of the 2026 Phillies.
I do not either.
I think there's going to be things that we will complain about. I've been talking about lack of power from the right side for 3 years now, Johnny. And unless Adolis Garcia, it's why I said the season hinges on him. Unless he finds that power surge, Not getting it from Bohm. Not getting it from JT. Who else is going to give it to you? Otto Kemp? Maybe?
Come on.
I love how he got celebrated for his effort in left field.
Isn't that
yesterday.
great?
Did not make the catch, but he got effort.
Wait, good effort.
Gave it a good bid. Tough play.
Yeah. All right, coming up next.
They got a good club. Good club.
Maybe a better left fielder who can read the ball off the bat better.
Yeah, maybe he could. Like he knows how to break on a ball.
Doesn't have to dive every inch of his body to try to make the play. Coming up next, we have today's headlines with Connor Thomas. It is Kincade Salciunas on debut day. Painter and Martone. Talk about it all day today here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
is Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
It is 7:46 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. Man, we're on edge right now. We have the Sixers with a bad loss yesterday to the Miami Heat. And on edge is both good and bad, right? Bad loss yesterday, bad loss for the Phillies yesterday, but on edge for the Flyers because of sheer excitement, right? The fact that the Flyers are like, that's good edge. We're sometimes edging isn't bad. Like we're on a good edge right now with the Flyers. So we are on edge as the city of Philadelphia. There's A.J. Brown watch every single day. That's where we're at right now. Right, Connor?
Settle down.
All right. Let's check the poll of the day. Brought to you by Dr. Avidan Appel.
I think he might need to help you less.
Iron Mountain Men's Health, man. Listen, I'm a happily married man. There's nothing wrong with that, dude. I'm almost on vacation. What do we got? 97.5 The Fanatic Twitter account. Dr. Avidan Appel helps the poll stay strong for 4 hours here in the morning. And then
all right, so we have two polls today. Whose debut are you more excited for tonight? 66% of responders saying Andrew Painter. So Porter Martone now getting 34% of the vote, a little bit of an uptick from what we saw last time. We also asked how you're watching, and 57% of responders says they're watching Painter on TV, 38% Martone on TV, 4% Painter in person, 1% Martone in person.
Yeah, I think that might be Jeff from D.C. is the only one that might be. And he goes, I have to be there, don't I? And I said, yes, and we'll need a full report tomorrow.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
So we'll need a full report from you tomorrow. Check in with us.
If anybody made a decision to go down after you found out, literally, Ant Sanfilippo yesterday on the show says he's playing tomorrow, which is tonight. Did anybody say, let me check tickets and let me buy a ticket? I don't know.
And you can get them.
I don't know what the ticket prices are like in Washington.
Yeah, they're not Washington, but usually it's a tougher ticket than it's been this year.
Well, Vetchkin's not chasing history anymore, whereas he was last year, and those tickets
and they're not
were
going
crazy.
to. They don't appear to be going to the playoffs.
Right. So if you're going, let us know. Dave's on a text line, or you can leave a voice memo 610-632-0975. But let's do a little something we call today's headlines. Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
Now, Connor, real quick. Yesterday, you said the National Series not even worthy of a CT18 guarantee.
Nope.
Do the Phillies take the next two?
Because you
probably not.
Wow.
They're going to win with Sanchez on the mound. I don't know what
you're playing
Painter's
chess,
gonna
not checkers on this one.
What do you mean?
Well, because if you say CT18 guarantee and it doesn't hit.
Yeah, dude.
You said it wasn't even worthy of it.
I guarantee ones that are guarantees. Anyway, we move on because Lundy Law needs their love. They sponsor today's headlines. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. I think our old pal, former Flyer Radko Gudas, might be calling Lundy Law because he got his ass beat last night. But it was a respectable ass beating.
I love Radko Gudas. I don't think many Flyers fans have ever uttered those words before. I was a big Gudas guy when he was with the Flyers because, he's just mucker and grinder. Like, I love those guys, right? Like, Donald Brashear was like my favorite Flyer when I was growing up, right? Like, I love that. What he did yesterday is such a hockey move, and I respect it.
Yeah, let's hear how the game started with Anaheim.
And the gloves come off. It's going to be Domi and Gudas. So just one fight, and Max Domi in the defense of the captain is teeing off. Is he ever?
Now, what happened was about a week ago, Radko Gudas had a knee-to-knee contact with Austin Matthews, effectively ending his season. Matthews, the captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs. So when they see the Maple Leafs again, Gudas was out the previous game with a lower body injury and decided to dress just to get the fight in right from puck drop, which is honestly one of the great things about hockey is the policing of the game they do.
I respect it because he was literally out with an injury. Right, like he legitimately may have not played yesterday. He said, "Look, it's not that he did it on purpose, but I know the impact that I made, and I'm going to go out
entire season.
I'm going to go out there and face it."
Joel Embiid texted him and said, "What are you doing, dude? Take some games
off.
Come on,
that was $1 in the jar.
You got to be at least up
$2.
$10. I don't know where we're at.
That's well worth it.
But yeah, I respect it. Good on Radko.
Absolutely, it's a great thing.
That's the something about the culture of the sport. I love it.
Yeah. Speaking of injured people, we have another person who might need to call Lundy Law. Now, I'm not sure if you guys saw this story, but there was a tweet that surfaced in the wake of the UConn big win over Duke. A lot of people celebrating. And Patio on Twitter at PH Clef put out a little story. Just some person.
Patty.
I thought you were acting like this was somebody that I'm supposed to know. Oh, Patio.
No.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, Janky Rondo put this out. So saying, in the ensuing celebration, my buddy was jumping in elation, completely tore his Achilles. Just got back from the emergency room.
Oh, my gosh.
This day goes down in the history book. So I will ask you guys, for a moment like that for one of your sports teams, would you tear your Achilles?
No.
Not for that shot?
No.
No.
Tear your Achilles.
I know it sucks.
I would no.
No. That's 6 months to 7 months of nonsense,
Yeah,
right?
no, I'm not.
No.
Sorry.
Absolutely not.
Sorry, I like
Why?
my
You're not a part of it.
I like
think
my
about it.
Achilles more than the Phillies.
You're just a
What do you
fan.
mean not a part of it? He's a part of it. You get to enjoy it.
Dude, we saw David.
You can enjoy it without
David
tearing
Robertson.
You can enjoy it without tearing your Achilles.
David
But I'm
Robertson
asking if
literally
you
did
had
get
to.
hurt
No,
celebrating
no.
a Bryce Harper home run. That's a wild story that he got hurt. Did he miss the entire following series?
I believe so.
Well, wait a minute. Didn't Brad Lidge get hurt in the dog pile?
Well, yeah, that was when they but David Robertson was the jumping off the stool out in the outfield in the bullpen when Harper hit the home run, and he got hurt through that. The other one, the pile of it's going to happen. Nicks and bruises are going to happen. But that one
carried into the next
it
year.
It did.
That wasn't a nick and a bruise.
I don't know, though.
Because
19
Ryan Howard was Jeremiah
Seriously.
Trotter coming off the edge hitting him.
19-point comeback against Duke with that shot from the logo to go to the Final Four. I think I'm taking the Achilles
Not
there
worthy
for the
of the
good of the fan
Achilles.
base
No.
and the good of the team.
Just
But I guess I'm
celebrate.
just a better fan. I don't know what to tell
Celebrate
you.
with common sense.
Now, how do you guys feel about Kit Kats? Are you fans? Sometimes if you need
Never
to get a
would be
break.
my choice. It wouldn't be my choice. but-
Yeah, I've had this discussion on the air before, and I get heat for it. I think they're slightly overrated. There is just so much better candy, right? It's kind of like my Sopranos take. Sopranos not a bad show, but I've watched so many better shows before I watched The Sopranos. I was eating Reese's Cups before I was eating Kit Kat bars. And
I
like,
would always choose a
Reese's
Cup.
or
Reese's
Supreme.
Cup over.
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much better that you don't always have to live off the nostalgia.
Well, somebody out there loves Kit
They
Kats.
sure do. I saw
Somewhere
this.
between Central Italy and Poland, they're a big fan of Kit Kats.
Central
because
Italy and Poland.
because Kit Kat had to put out an official statement.
Saying
They
Lithuania's around.
confirmed 12 tons of Kit Kat products
Oh, you
were
didn't see
stolen
this?
while in transit between their factory in Central Italy and their destination in Poland.
Whoa. A truck got hijacked or something?
And stole 12 tons of Kit Kats.
You didn't see this?
No.
12 tons, dude.
Wait a minute.
Who in the world? And now the question is, what do you do with it? Like, what do you do with 12 tons of Kit
you
Kats?
give it to the little kids that go to the Eagles games and Phillies games.
That has to be-
And they have the box and the helmet, and you put the cash in the football helmet because you're raising money for your local Pee Wee football
That has
team.
to be a mistaken hijacking. Like somebody
They
didn't
thought
mean
something else was in there,
Correct,
and they opened it up,
correct.
and it's like, damn it.
What? Kit Kats.
bunch of chocolate bars. Are you kidding?
They're opening up the wrappers thinking there's like crack in it. or
That's
something.
incredible. That's incredible. 12 tons of Kit Kat?
Yeah, this new Ocean's 15 movie kind of sucks.
Did they throw all these, like all the crazy, like nowadays you can't even tell though. It's like I just want to, if I occasionally just want a Reese's Cup.
Yeah.
Now it's like Reese's Cup with chocolate, Reese's Cup with caramel.
And they're all
Reese's
good.
Cup
They're all,
with-
I will say they're all good.
The caramel one
I've
was,
sampled all.
The caramel one was amazing.
I've sampled all of them.
Listen, you got to change things up sometime. New product.
Yeah,
But
you can't even
Kit
keep-
Kat, if there's a shortage, you know why. 12 tons missing.
There
12
there
tons is crazy.
might legitimately be a shortage.
Yeah, so-
in that area for Easter.
Well, I'm not worried about those people. They're in the.
If you
they're
see
fine.
somebody
I
with
worry
about
about everybody.
17,000 Kit Kat bars, call the authorities.
There you go.
If you are an injured
Door
worker,
to
call
door.
Lundy Law.
Good
Door to
job,
door.
Connor.
Lundy Law could get involved in that.
They
game.
sure as hell can. All right, coming up next, Sixers had a very disappointing loss yesterday. They've been playing good basketball, especially with the return of Paul George and Joel Embiid. They won their first two games. 14-0 run yesterday by the Miami Heat leads to a Heat victory. Sixers now a game and a half back of both the Raptors and Hawks after the Hawks beat the Celtics last night. So a rough day for the Sixers. We speak with Mark Jackson about them coming up next. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A tough night in the Philly sports scene. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers came up short against the Heat last night in South Beach, 119-109. The final, Miami, a 14-0 run in the final minutes of the game to ice things in that one. And the Sixers are now a game and a half back of the Raptors and Hawks. They're trying to make their way out of the play-in tournament. They'll take on the Wizards tomorrow. The Phillies, they were playing Washington last night, and they didn't even really show up to play. They lost 13-2. Taijuan Walker allowed 4 runs in the top of the first before the Phillies even got their first chance at the bat. It was all downhill from there. Justin Crawford was not in the lineup yesterday. Rob Thompson talked about giving him some rest and what the thought process was.
He will play tomorrow.
Just to give him a little reprieve from all this left-handed starters. But, I mean, he handles lefties pretty good normally. So.
We'll see what the lineup looks like for Game 2. We do know Andrew Painter's on the mound, 6:40 tonight against the Nationals. His major league debut. It's not the only big debut. Flyers have a big one in Washington against the Caps at 7 tonight. You can hear that game live throughout the Fanatic. You'll hear Porter Martone's debut for the Flyers as well, and a big game with the postseason picture going on. Speaking of, we're going to talk to Mark Jackson about the Sixers playoff push coming up next. This update is brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has led inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union, 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, it's 8 a.m. here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5. The Fanatic. Mark Jackson of NBC Sports Philadelphia will be joining us coming up at 8:05. No Amy today of NBC Sports Philadelphia. She's on spring break with the kiddos. So Tuesday with Amy, no Friday with Fadul. Amy will be back with us next week.
Good for her.
Yeah, good for her. Good for her to escape what was last night's loss to the Heat. Sixers lose last night, 119-109. Great fight back in the first quarter. Great second quarter. The fourth quarter was electric. It's just you wish it wasn't the Sixers because the Sixers were the team not making the shots. The Heat was the team making the shots. It was great energy from both teams, but
Not sustained, though.
No, it was Johnny. It was
the end.
John. All the entire fourth quarter. I don't know. I thought it was great the entire fourth quarter.
See that the end of that. To me, I thought there was a lot of flat-footedness at the end of that game.
I didn't see that remotely. I just thought they couldn't get a bucket.
There was, to me, it looked frustrated. To me, they looked very and look, and I'd be frustrated too, not getting the shots to fall. You can get that can come about. I didn't see this. I thought that was a game that was as if there were 4 different games to me played last.
I saw both teams fighting for balls on the floor. I saw jumping up I saw 3-4 guys on both teams going up for the same rebounds. Like I didn't see that. I saw fight from both teams. It's just, again, I wish it was Heat versus Magic, because I could go, wow, this is really entertaining. Instead, it was the Sixers, and I was watching them miss shots.
Maybe I'm saying it to you wrong. Did you believe the effort of that game looked the same through 4 quarters?
I mean, I think there's always going to be heightened energy in the fourth quarter of any game, but I did not see a lack of effort yesterday. No.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you, did it look, to me, it looked like different games. Like when I was, for different stretches of that game, it looked like, like things just fell off a map.
Sure, I think that's any basketball.
Yeah, you go on runs.
Okay.
That's just how the game works.
Yesterday sucked.
Okay.
And they couldn't hit shots. They couldn't hit their shots yesterday. It was a bad day, and you hope that they bounce back tomorrow.
I think it was more of the same from this team. And I think that more of the same of what we see from this team often.
Okay.
A lot.
Not more the same as the Flyers winning. And the Flyers, they're on, well, that's been the same.
Recently.
And they have a big game tonight, which we can't wait for. Woo! It's debut day today. We have Andrew Painter going for the Phillies. Hopefully Andrew Painter can stop the bleed. I don't want to say slow down. Stop the bleeding. But it's not going to start with Andrew Painter. Technically it will, because the Phillies are home, and he's going to pitch in the first inning, and you hope that he doesn't give up 4 runs in the first inning like Taijuan Walker did yesterday. But you hope that the Phillies' bats come to life. And again, the 8 for 64 is the combined total of Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Bohm. That's got to change.
But give the young man some runs to work with, right?
Yeah, you'd hope
Connor,
so.
I know that's the point you're trying to make, is that give him a little bit of a breathing room.
Yeah, listen, you could be mad at the pitching staff all you want. Taijuan Walker is the biggest issue so far that we've seen on the mound, but it definitely helps guys settle in when they get an early lead as opposed to being down early or getting nothing. Like, you can't hang on to the 5th inning and watch your team 0-0-0-0. That affects the pitcher mentally.
What has been one of the things with this Phillies team in the lineup? They're front runners.
Oh, no, yes. That is
and
absolutely.
look, I'll give them credit for Saturday. They fought back in the 9th inning. It took till the 9th. They fought back. But they're tight, dude. They're once again tight. And the problem is they're tight in the first week of the season. Because they get it. How much talk about window? How much talk about running it back?
Then what does it tell you? They got no shot then. If that's the case, if they're tight in March, they've got no shot.
Yeah, but once Bryce Harper sees one go over the fence or somebody gets hot, it's gonna change. I mean, that is the unfortunate nature of baseball. But that's for us to talk about, not for the freaking president of baseball operations.
No, I got you. As far as look, I'm still up. 4 games. I'm not making any grand proclamations on this team. But if it is true what you're saying, that this team is so tight that they can't handle March, that's trouble. That's real trouble. That's a problem. And I'm hoping that that's not the case. But it certainly seems it.
Not a great start for the Fightins. Not a great night last night for the Sixers. And let's talk about it now with one of our favorites from NBC Sports Philadelphia. You can catch them on pre- and post-game on NBC, normally with our friend Amy Fadul. She's on spring break this week.
And she told us to bother him.
Wow.
Because that's what she said.
He looked good in the court the other night. Last Wednesday he was out there, our man Mark Jackson.
Man.
What's up, Mark? Good morning.
What's up, fellas? How are you?
Hi, Mark.
We're doing good. Yesterday was such a day during the morning for us, getting excited for what's going on in Philadelphia sports. The Sixers making their push for avoiding the play-in. The Flyers making a push for the playoffs. The Phillies, we were hoping for a bounce-back series. And the Sixers and Phillies did not start the week off right. What were some of the takeaways you had from last night's loss when everybody was fired up to watch the Sixers take on the Heat?
You know, it was a letdown. It was like a real letdown, to be 100% transparent with you. You know, we truly felt as though the Sixers gave us hope versus Charlotte, even though it's 2 different teams. It's still teams that have been playing good basketball. And then we come out and go to Miami, go to South Beach, and we just kind of lay flat.
it was the interesting thing about that game. The game was ebb and flow. Like, Miami would get going in the first half, then we calmed them down. We got them to reality shooting the ball, and then we got going. But then it got to the point where that last 4-minute stretch, we just settled a little too much. We didn't attack them, at home around that room area, and I think our shots were falling. It cost us a win.
It just seems like there's a little bit of inconsistency, Mark, and that's one of the things you seem to be pointing to as far as this team right now. And is that something that can be fixed as we head into April?
You know what? It is. First of all, it is. I think we still have time to correct the ship. But respectfully, I'm a boxing fan.
Oh yeah, you
only
are.
Take one lucky. Well, only take one lucky punch. So if you get in that play-in, I'm concerned because with that being said, like you get into the play-in, and if a team gets hot where they shoot 70% from three, then you back at home. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's so valuable that the Sixers get out of this play-in spot. But it is enough time to gain momentum, to gain traction. Can we do it? I believe we can. But like you said, you used the word inconsistent. That's something that we have to do a better job on.
Mark, what happened in that 14-0 run for the Miami Heat? Sixers, it looked like they were heading toward a victory, and then shots just stopped falling for the Sixers. What went down for the Sixers? What did the Heat do? What was your takeaway during that run?
My takeaway from that run was it came down to the point where we couldn't, like, they started hitting shots, and then we kind of got, okay, what we going to do now? I thought we personally, I truly believe we personally just couldn't hit shots at the most important time of the game when the game was on even runs. And they was able to. And then I think that's the way that affected it. But you go back to the first half, Miami was on fire. But we know respectfully they couldn't hit the shots like that consistently. And we started to get going. We had some great defensive plays that led some buckets. And we just couldn't get them last couple of stops in the last few minutes.
Mark, do you see that this team truly has had the when you see them like all healthy now, when you've gotten to see Embiid back, George back, is this a team that is going to be able to translate to different matchups in the Eastern Conference playoffs if you get to a playoff series?
Exactly. See, that's the benefit. I believe this team is so versatile, man, that they have the tools to compete and to navigate any team they play against. And as you know, as a coach, that's like one of the biggest things. You want to have versatility in your lineup because mismatch means everything. And if you have different tools you can pull from, then everything is great. So, like, with that being said, we have those tools, but we got to get there. We got to get there. Now, I know it sucks. Last night was only the 19th game that all of the Sixers team has played together. But with that being said, you still got to find momentum to get what you want to do, and it starts now.
Mark, as we are getting closer to the playoffs, let's face it, you want to avoid the play-in as much as possible. The Sixers have 2 back-to-backs. They have a Friday, Saturday this week, T-Wolves, Pistons, and then next week, Thursday, Friday, Rockets, Pacers. Do you believe Embiid and Paul George will play in both games of the back-to-back, or are they going to strategize and have one guy play one night and one guy play the other?
Look, that's the question, right? That's the question because Amy, and our producer, Brian Brennan, we talk about this so much, guys, that they have to treat these games like our playoffs have started. Mm-hmm. They can't wait till the play-in or playoffs to start. No. Our playoffs has literally started. So that means we have to have that mindset going into these games. I don't believe Embiid or Paul George should sit. I think they have to see a bigger goal. Let's get out of this play-in, and let's try to do bigger, better things. And that means we have to be fighting to continue to go bigger, and that means win these games and then get a couple of days off to really gel, to really get in sync going into the playoffs.
Mark, what are the odds that you think they follow your advice that you just gave? Because I don't believe they will. I don't believe they're going to do that.
Until last night, I thought they would have played every game, but the fact that they lost last night and the likelihood of us moving up out of 7th is slim. I think they might settle now and say, you know what? As long as he gets to playing healthy, let's just go ahead and do that. And I agree with you. I think they will start to sit guys in them 2 games.
All right, Mark Jackson of NBC Sports Philadelphia joining us here on Kincade and Salciunas. So, Mark, as we start to look ahead, there's multiple different areas where the Sixers could play certain teams, right? If the Sixers are the 8 seed, they're playing the 1 seed. If they climb up to 5, they're playing the 4. Is there a matchup, potential first-round matchup, where you go, all right, I don't want the Sixers to be in that one, or I do want the Sixers to be on that one if I could pick?
You know what's crazy about that is, everybody look at Detroit. So Detroit, what they got, a best player, Cade Cunningham, being out with a punctured lung, I believe. Mm-hmm. Like, people, I look at them as being vulnerable. And I hate to say that. I mean, no disrespect, because I go back deja vu. When I was with the Sixers with Coach Coach Jim O'Brien, everybody said, where do we want to play? We actually fell to play Detroit. I think they was like the 3 or 4 seed, and we dropped a few games late in the season. We fell them. People said, oh, that's the best matchup for us. And what happened? We lost 4-2. So, like, you never can say where you want to play. How do you want a matchup to go? You just got to go with who you want to play. Who you play, you got to get a victory. But with that being said, I truly believe we have a chance against Boston, Detroit. The only team that bothers me is New York Knicks. Let me tell you why. Because the Xfinity Live Center becomes Madison Square Garden when we play New York Knicks. And that bothers a player. That bothers a player when you're at home and the other team has more home fans than you. So I don't want to play the New York Knicks.
I'm intrigued by the whole Detroit thing because I do question whether Detroit is ready for that stage. Whereas Boston, I'm looking at them, Mark, as a really, really dangerous club that I would want to see the Sixers avoid. But as you say, you can't pick your spots, right? It always comes back to bite.
True. It does. But we just got to get there healthy, man, and we got to make some noise. But it's interesting to see the level of focus and locked in the team is. You see them, not just the starters, but the guys on the bench. It's even the player coach, Kyle Lowry. Like, he's coaching more than I haven't seen him coach all year, and that's pretty much been his main role this year as a coach. But he's locked in coaching them guys hard more than Nick Nurse and assistant coaches.
Mark, listen, man, we appreciate the time. Keep up the great work. We'll all keep in touch with Amy while she's on vacation. And then
exactly.
and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks, Mark.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
There he is, Mark Jackson from NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Another Al.
Yeah, another Al.
I love it.
Yeah, it was a buzzkill yesterday. Like, last night was buzzkill night. To start this week where there was so much excitement, like, I could not wait to come into work yesterday. Right? Like,
we all felt it, and look, we all felt it,
and we still have
I
it.
get you.
I don't want it to get lost. The Flyers have a freaking major game tonight, and we have 2 debuts.
No, I get it. And look, we're button heads on this today, but I think Mark was saying it too. He sensed that the inconsistency of this team is maddening. It's maddening. I don't think you flick a switch that I'm expecting this team to be able to all of a sudden put together just consistent effort. The weird thing that he just said, though, at the end bothered me worse. That Kyle Lowry's coaching harder than the coaching staff. Did you hear that?
Well, he probably connects better with the players.
That's a problem, too. That's a problem. Like, that's a problem. And I know Mark's just saying it as far as his observations, and he's watching and he's seeing how they do that. But
yeah, but he could talk to Maxey and VJ in a way that Nick Nurse can't.
No question.
Right?
There's no question.
That's why you keep guys like that around. I know we complain that a roster spot's being taken out. That's why the Heat had Udonis Haslem for 6 decades.
Udonis Haslem, Shaquille will tell you they could put a statue of him outside the stadium and people would love it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's that beloved.
Oh, yeah.
But do you think that Nick Nurse has done a good job?
Yesterday was disappointing. I can't fully blame the guy when he doesn't have his players.
I'm not saying fully blame him. I'm saying
no. I think there's been a lot left on the table. When he was talked about being one of the greatest, the Sixers have had a lot of this is the best guy on the market, and they bring in the best guy on the market, and it doesn't totally work out for them.
Because where I'm leading you to is the conversation that we had on the elevator this morning coming up. Eric Spoelstra makes chicken salad out of chicken poop every year. So everybody can tell me what they want about Nick Nurse and what he's had to deal with this year. And he has. He's had to deal with a lot of adversity. But
he's dealt with more adversity.
What would Eric Spoelstra do with this roster?
Well, what would Eric Spoelstra do with this roster? He'd win a lot of basketball games when everybody's healthy. The problem
even when they're not, do you not think he'd squeeze more juice out of the lemon? I do.
Yeah, but there's, 3 Eric Spoelstra level coaches in the NBA right now, maybe?
Yeah, you're right. I mean,
I don't know how many people would
Spoelstra is a unicorn.
Like, he's the basketball Hall of Fame level coach.
Yeah.
He is. It's just at some point it can be done. Like, it can be done.
And Nick Nurse did it the year after Kawhi leaves. They're the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference, and he was doing it without Kawhi. Remember, everyone thought that Kawhi, they were doing the 1 year, let's try to win it, and then we're going to be horrible. They were the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference the very next year. Like, Nick Nurse did a hell of a job coaching that Raptors team.
I just
expected
a lot more.
Because the guys were available.
I expected a lot more. And I have not seen – there's too many times that I've just been like, what's going on with this
I was upset with some of the changes offensively in the fourth quarter.
I didn't understand it last night. By the way, they didn't on the broadcast either.
Yeah.
The thing with this team, though, is if you need an Eric Spoelstra level head coach to win, you're going to be waiting a while. Like, there's not Steve Kerrs don't grow on trees. You've got to. There have been teams that have won with Luke Walton, Mike Budenholzer. Like, you see teams go out and win with run-of-the-mill head coaches because the players have to step up.
Yeah, Nick Nurse won with Kawhi, who's the best player on the planet. You just mentioned Mike Budenholzer. Giannis was the best player on the planet. You mentioned Luke Walton. He won it with LeBron James, who was the best player on the planet. Like, during those playoff runs, like. If the Sixers, if Joel Embiid's healthy,
but don't even say that.
You know, who knows what Nick Nurse can do? It's almost like an incomplete.
Yeah, I feel bad. Look, I feel bad.
It's always going to be incomplete with this.
It is. So it's just, I expect, though, what can be controlled to be controlled, and inconsistent is just really, like, the effort being inconsistent bothers me. It just bothers me. They put up too many duds. And the third quarter thing this year is inexcusable.
Yeah. I just don't see that as effort. I see that as halftime adjustments made by coaches that he has not been able to.
Okay, well, then he's not done a good job. Then.
Yeah.
So here's what I'll
then
say.
Your answer is he's not done a good job.
If we're sitting down and having the Nick Nurse, do they retain him as head coach this year? Here's where I stand on it right now. He has not done enough where I say, hey, he should be fired. But he has also not done enough positively to protect himself from getting fired.
Yeah, they're in a weird spot. You can say
very
the
weird.
exact same thing about Daryl Morey. Like, there are a lot of things to complain about Daryl Morey. And then you also go, wait, the 2 guys that we keep on saying build around, he drafted both of them.
And then I look at the McCain deal and I say inexcusable.
Right, exactly. Like, they're so, like, both of those guys, both Nick Nurse and Daryl Morey, we always do the T-chart. We might have to do a T-chart and just whichever side has more, that they stay or go.
By the way, I never did T-charts till I became a closer friend to you.
I'm a T-chart guy.
And I do T-charts all the time now.
Nice.
Like I never
Pros
did
versus
T-charts.
cons.
I never did T-charts. And I'm a fan of the T-chart.
It's a good way to look at things. You know, which sides.
It is. It's interesting to look at it that way. It forces you to really go, hey, which side wins?
I like a T-chart. All right, what do we got on the
T-chart
Davis Honda text line? Feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington.
We have a lot of people checking in on the Sixers game from last night and thoughts on that. And Chris from Springfield says the Sixers would have won that game last night if not for the illegal screen by Joel Embiid when Maxey drilled that 3 from the logo in the fourth quarter. There was too much ISO ball from the foul line with the ball in Embiid's hands. He slows down the pace of this team.
All right. We got to stop this slows down the pace because they win more when he plays versus when he doesn't. I get what you're saying. The pace is different. I also saw the pace when he was hurt go a million miles an hour, and they lost a lot of those games. So,
well, that's young players trying to learn to win too.
I just feel like it's easy to point to. All right, they lost the game, so it's because of the pace.
Steven sends an email in. The veteran players and the Sixers and the players and the Phillies have one thing in common: they're all too content. They don't want to do the things necessary to be champions as a team. They're supposed to be leaders, and they don't lead. He said the Flyers are at least showing some heart, and hopefully that's not a mirage.
Yeah,
I don't know that they don't want to, Steven. I just look at it as I think some guys are not equipped. They're just not equipped. Like, I think Bryce Harper is a leader by example.
Yeah.
Schwarber's a leader by talking. Like, he's a verbal leader. That's not Bryce Harper. But I don't think that Bryce Harper doesn't. That doesn't mean Bryce Harper doesn't lead. Bryce Harper could lead. Young player could watch his work ethic, could watch the things that he does to prepare and be positive about it.
By the way,
he prepared a nice latte yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
On TikTok.
I'm guessing that guy doesn't like Embiid, the texter, because what about like 2 possessions later when Maxey had an illegal screen? How come that text? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's
you blame Embiid for a loss because of an illegal screen when literally a couple possessions later, Tyrese Maxey got called for an illegal screen. it's the old adage you always say. We like who we like, we don't.
Correct.
Don't like who we don't like. All right, coming up next, a little football talk for you on this Tuesday morning. League meetings are taking place in Arizona. D. Gunn, Johnny, did not have to fly to Arizona to give us a nugget yesterday, insight on the future of Jalen Hurts that he didn't even hesitate when he gave us his answer on the contract extension of Jalen Hurts. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
If you are looking to get engaged, this is the time that you have to mark on your calendar because it's going to be an amazing event at Benari Jewelers. Coming up April 10th through the 12th. So after Easter weekend, it's the next weekend, the 10th through the 12th. 3 days of savings on virtually all Benari Jewelers' fabulous rings and bands, up to 20% savings. And the selection double the norm because top designers are going to be showcasing their entire lines right there with the best values of the year. But they also have this little thing for you. How about interest-free financing with approved credit? Details are available for you at BenariJewelers.com. Whether you go to Exton or Newtown Square, my good friends at Benari Jewelers are going to treat you to 3 days of amazing savings. So if you're looking to get engaged, you're never going to believe whatever cut, size, style you're looking for. You're going to find them all. You're going to love the price. You're going to love the interest-free financing. And you're going to love having double the selection. It's great, but it's only the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. So make plans now to get into Benari Jewelers. Exton and Newtown Square. Tell them John Kincade from The Fanatic sent you in.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
2 rough losses. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Sixers and Phillies had rough nights last night. Sixers coming up short in South Beach, 119-109, a loss to the Heat. Miami went on a 14-0 run in the late minutes of the fourth quarter to take over that game. The Sixers now find themselves a game and a half back of the Raptors and Hawks as they try and get out of the play-in tournament spots. They'll take on the Wizards tomorrow night. The Phillies, they got smoked. 13-2 the final against the Nationals. Taijuan Walker allowed 6 runs. 7 total, but 6 earned. And it was all downhill from the start of the game. It got bad quickly. Justin Crawford not in the lineup yesterday. Rob Thompson, who was ejected in the first inning, had some kind of back and forth commentary about it, saying he's good against lefties, but didn't want him to continue to face lefties. We'll see if he's back in the lineup for Game 2 against the Nats tonight, 6:40 p.m. And Andrew Painter makes his Major League debut facing off against P.J. Poulin on the mound. It's not the only debut. The Flyers have a big game down in Washington against the Capitals, 7 p.m. puck drop. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic, and you're going to want to because Porter Martone should be playing.
He will play tomorrow night in Washington. Barring anything happening with, say, the physical or some kind of paperwork goes awry today, I expect he will play tomorrow.
That's Ansan Von Pattison, and you could go ahead and check out that game live here on The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by the Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa. A hotel might have a bar, a resort, a spa, but if you want it all and more, it's Borgata. Visit Borgata.com. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic.
Middays with Marks. I love me some Johnny Marks and Ray Dunn. Now I find myself just screaming.
youtube.com/975 The Fanatic Philadelphia. More of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way now.
Yeah, you can watch the show on YouTube. You can be part of the YouTube community where there's a lot of people that comment on what's being said. Sometimes we can read them on the air. I can't right now because they're doing their top 5 movie list. So if you just want to hang out with people and watch the show.
All right, what are the movies?
Or no, it's top 5 show series, sorry.
Okay, what do they got?
A lot of Wire.
Wire's great. You know what? YouTube folks, you have some great taste.
Hell yeah, man.
I love The Wire.
Ozark getting some love
Ozark
on
was
there.
spectacular.
American Horror Story. A lot of shows are being talked about.
American Horror Story top 5?
I thought that was Team USA Baseball in the championship.
Yeah. No, I can't.
Mark DeRosa.
American Horror Story is good. It's just you don't.
Well, it depends.
You don't. It's not a series because it's individual. Like,
and they keep the cast. Do you like how the cast changes? Like it's the same people, but they change parts a lot.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean I like some of them. They were
I
great.
like some of them. Yeah,
the one down in Florida freaked me out with the clown.
I prefer the shows that run it back year after year.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're the ones that always work.
Those
for
are
you.
my favorite.
Yeah, I bet.
Yep, that's what the Phillies are
Connor.
doing.
Killing me with that.
All right, before we dive deeper into the Phillies, there is something that we wanted to get into because we had something interesting. It's funny. I watched the clip. Dylan posted the clip yesterday.
Dill.
And you see my eyebrows go up. My eyebrows, and then I had the lines, the forehead lines.
Oh, that's always good.
You know, I was really kind of caught off guard by
they called worry lines, I believe, or something. They're called the worry lines. I don't know.
I don't know what they're called. But yesterday, Derek Gunn, he was on with us, and we asked him about AJ, and he continued saying, look, AJ doesn't want to get traded, and the Eagles don't want to trade AJ. And obviously, that's what we were going to start the conversation with. Then it was like, all right, where do we go next with D. Gunn? And toward the end, I figured I'd ask, all right, this guy, Derek Gunn's one of the most connected reporters that there is in-house with the Eagles.
Integrity plus.
And figured I'd ask him about the potential contract extension because we're at that point with Jalen Hurts. You've been pointing it out for a while that the guaranteed money
after this year,
plummets.
They could walk away.
They could.
They really could.
And this was Derek Gunn yesterday on the air with us talking about Jalen Hurts and whether or not there have been talks about an extension.
No. I don't think he'll get this contract extension in 2026. I think the Eagles are going to look closely at how he adapts to this new offense, and I think then they're going to make a determination in terms of what they want to do with Jalen beyond the season. But I don't think an extension is in the works this offseason heading into the 2026 season. And I don't blame them. When you're talking about the money that quarterbacks make nowadays and how it eats up such a significant part of the cap, you have to be very strategic in terms of what you're going to do, who you're going to do it with. Let's face it, Jalen didn't have the best of years in 2025. I don't like to use the word a prove-it year because he's proven he can play at a high level in 2 Super Bowls and being a Super Bowl MVP. But I think in terms of consistency, the Eagles have some concerns about his consistency when you base it on what we saw of him in 2025. So, no, I don't think he's getting that extension anytime soon.
And that
what do you think about that?
Was without hesitation. Just so you guys know, I mean, you only heard the clip of his answer. If you heard the question that I asked, it was like, no.
I mean, he didn't even hesitate.
Almost like, why even asking me this, dude? Like, that's crazy for you to ask.
It's not common.
Question. What are your thoughts on that? You and I talked about it a little bit on post-show headlines. You could check it out. Go to the Fanatic YouTube page. Go find post-show headlines. We talked about it yesterday.
I'm of the belief that they're making a big mistake if they don't. And that's just me. Because I do not want to see them kick this can down the road because it just goes to show you if you push a quarterback a year, let's say you go back a year and you say, we're going to pay him a year from now. You are pretty much saying whatever the salary cap goes up, you're taking all of the salary cap grace that you get that it goes up, you're giving it to that player.
Right.
That tends to be what you do. You give minimum, you're giving that to the player. I don't want that. Like, I don't want to see it. The Eagles have always had their greatest success by giving players contracts early. I am absolutely in the Jalen Hurts business. I do not want to see Jalen Hurts anywhere else. I do not. And he was clear to say this isn't prove-it year, but he thinks Jalen Hurts has that it might be within their building a year where they're saying, hey, Jalen, show us something. For me, it's not a Jalen Hurts prove-it year.
Last year, let's talk about this because I know a lot of people get very emotional. when it comes to Jalen Hurts.
They do.
All right. You're looking at it from like a cap standpoint.
A business standpoint.
And you don't think he stinks.
And
So,
I think he's much better than stinking.
Yeah.
And I also know that I don't want to think of a life that, you're replacing Jalen Hurts. Who you're replacing him with?
Right. It would, you're either on the market with somebody
what are you
or
doing?
you're drafting somebody.
You're drafting
else.
somebody? Nah, I'm good.
Well, they did bring in Andy Dalton.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Future quarterback, yeah.
Let's unpack this. In terms of him not having a great season last year, there will be people that will go to ProFootballReference.com. They will type in Jalen Hurts and they'll say, statistically, he had a good season. Carson Wentz statistically had a good season in 2019. And you could tell just by watching it that it wasn't a good season. Statistically, sure. But with your eyes, you didn't see a good season. Last year, when the ground game was not working, you have to rely on your quarterback more. Mm-hmm. The ground game was not working, and Jalen wasn't spectacular. Jalen Hurts did not win them many games, putting the team on his back. And what have I been saying for the 2 years of us working together? Jalen Hurts can win you a game. I'm not saying he's not. I've seen him in 2 Super Bowls be the best player on the field.
I think that's fair.
Could he absolutely put a team on his back for a week, 2 week, 3 week? Sure. I don't believe he's a guy that it's like, all right, you have Jalen, they're going to go to the playoffs this year. I think he is a product of other things going well around him. I don't want to diminish what he's been able to accomplish because somebody has to throw the football. He doesn't make mistakes. But I do believe a lot of the times him being so focused on not making mistakes, and I do believe part of that's Nick Sirianni's belief in taking care of the ball, so it may be a coaching issue as well. Sometimes the overly careful nature takes away from taking shots downfield. There were plays to be made a lot this season, and he would run to his right and then throw it out of bounds or get 3 yards on the ground.
And there were lots of times this year where he had a wide receiver who was half involved, and in the game plan who quit on routes. He had a team that was dysfunctional because of the offensive coordinator. He had a lot of stuff going on this year. What I've seen is that when he has competent coaching around him,
he's been great.
He's been great. And more importantly, I look at the first Super Bowl as the one where Jalen played like Superman.
Yes.
The second one, he had great stats, but to me, I look at it as that was a defense.
Yeah,
the defense just
that game was over in the second quarter.
That game was done. That game was done at halftime. We were at halftime texting each other all going wow.
There were people leaving Patty Wax third quarter to go to Ball Street.
Oh my God.
That's how early that.
And we're
that
not
game
used to that here.
No,
we're not used to that. But to me, I don't want to think of anything as far as Jalen is concerned. I want to pay Jalen early. I want him paid this offseason.
Now,
that's what I would like to
what's
see.
Amazing with this conversation is because Jalen Hurts is a polarizing figure. There's a lot of people that don't like, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
They think and look, there are better quarterbacks out there, but he's a guy that wins, and that's something that
it matters to me.
It should.
It matters to me.
You can't disagree that the guy wins. The guy does not come up small in big moments. We have seen Josh Allen this year came up small. He should have won this year.
And he's come up small in other big moments. He's had other moments where he has come up big and lost.
Yeah, all those games against the Chiefs, it wasn't because of Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson, really talented quarterback.
Has come up really
small in playoffs.
Yes.
There's not many games where you can say Jalen Hurts came up small in that one in the playoffs. And so that's something that you would worry about moving on. But you also can't – there are people that will disagree till they're blue in the face. There are guys with better attributes, like arm strength and all kinds of things.
Yeah,
but
people are in love with Joe Burrow, and Joe Burrow doesn't do what
and they'll
Jalen
point
Hurts
out
does.
to the fact that he can't win.
Yeah, but the classic life cycle of one of these top-level franchise quarterbacks in the NFL is you build around them on their rookie contract. They get the big extension if they're good enough for the big new contract. And then slowly, as that contract kicks in, you have to learn how to do more with less. I brought this up when I was doing afternoons, not returning your guys' texts before the birth of Unfiltered.
Yeah, exactly.
And Ricky and Silvana, we had arguments about this multiple times because I was like, yeah, Hurts doesn't have to prove anything as far as being a competent NFL quarterback or a high-level guy in big moments, but his job is never going to get easier. Until maybe it's he stays here forever and he starts getting those late-term career contracts or just we know who this guy is, you're going to see him get paid more. And you're going to see the roster around him weaken because of that cap hit. And he's going to have to start proving he can be the guy, not a guy, the guy.
Okay.
And that's a question
Now,
I still have about it.
How do you feel about them not? I'm okay with them not paying him yet.
I am too.
Well, who's the quarterback who won the Super Bowl this year?
Sam Darnold.
Is he the guy?
He's a guy.
No, he's a guy.
Correct. So, I mean, I absolutely, I don't need Jalen Hurts to be anything more than he already is.
Yeah, back-to-back years, we found out that you just got to have a really good defense, good ground game, and be safe.
And Jalen Hurts can do all the things I need him to do.
I need him to be more than what he is right now. I do, because the roster's going to get weaker, especially on offense. We know this. They're going to have less money to spend. So he's got to be more of the picture. I'm not saying he can't do that, but I'm saying that's why I'm not giving him the extension right now.
There's a lot of people that take one side or the other, whether it's do you give Hurts the credit or the talent the credit? Believe it or not, there's a world where both can be true.
Sure.
But there might be a day where that talent isn't there, to your point, and then you wonder, all right, who is this guy? Is he Tom Brady that can win with James White and Wes Welker?
He is not Tom Brady.
Right.
Let's just take that off the table.
So
He's
what
not.
happens if he does lose? Let's say A.J. Brown does get traded. What happens without A.J. Brown? What happens with just Devontae Smith and some other guys that play wide receiver?
He could be a Russell Wilson. He could be an Eli Manning, and you could win again with this guy.
You could.
But you might need help.
All right, so I want some immediate reaction on this. YouTube, go for it. Text line, voice memo, 610-632-0975. Derek Gunn saying no. Eagles are not giving the extension yet. Kind of a prove it year. He did not want to call it a prove it year because he's proven it.
Correct.
But it's kind of a prove it year for the Eagles organization, it seems like, if they're not giving him that extension. Your reaction to that, that's not us telling you. That's the Eagles telling you. Once more, it's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about something that we should definitely make an investment in. If you're in love, the investment is an engagement ring. I understand that shopping for an engagement ring can feel a lot like shopping for a used car, especially when you're not totally up to speed with engagement rings. Hopefully, you're only doing it once. And if you're doing it twice, that's fine too. But hopefully, you're doing it once. And when you're doing it once, that means you never did it before. So you walk into the showroom, and you're like, all right, are these guys being upfront with me? What are these? There's no prices here. I don't even know what I'm buying here. I don't know what I'm spending. Is this actually real diamonds? What am I dealing with here? That's why you go to Family Company Jewelers. First off, you should always just listen to me when it comes to sports. I'm usually right about my sports opinions. But that's usually. I'm definitely right about Family Company Jewelers. They were there for me when I got my engagement ring, and now many other gifts since then. Got my wedding band there, Christy's wedding band there. Her first anniversary gift was from Family Company Jewelers. Her first Mother's Day gift was from Family Company Jewelers. Eventually going to be in the market for some diamond stud earrings she's been talking about recently. So Family Company Jewelers, it's my one-stop shop for all these big gifts. Check them out, Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey. They are changing the way that people buy jewelry by making it simple, which I appreciate, honest, which I appreciate, and pressure-free. They have no sales commissions. There's no upselling. There's no games. Just real transparent pricing. So transparent that every piece of jewelry in their showcases has the price clearly listed right next to it. So you're not getting one price and the guy that walks in after you is getting another price. It's right there clearly listed so that you can browse comfortably. And then if you have any questions, you ask the great team at Family Company Jewelers. They're family-owned, family-run. Focus on doing right by every customer who walks through the door so that the customers continue to come back like I have. Stop by on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey, or shop anytime at FamilyJewelers.com. Family Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
Keep it locked into 97.5 The Fanatic. Philly Sports Talk. 97.5 The Fanatic and the Fanatic app.
All right, it's 8:48. This is big information that we just got from Ray Dunn. And Connor, I will look to you to be able to answer this question for us. So Ray Dunn got to save the date. Positive Josh, our old buddy Josh. He's getting married.
Such a great guy.
And Ray Dunn was invited, as we expected.
Here or Tampa?
In the up here, so I think York.
So getting married
in
up
the
here.
York area.
Okay.
Ray Dunn +1.
Okay.
What would you do, Connor, if you were given a +1 to a wedding because you are not actively seeing someone? What do you do?
I would invite somebody that I would want to be seeing.
So okay.
Yeah, great girl.
You go power play.
Yeah, you invite a girl. Invite a girl that you're interested in.
Weddings are fun for anyone. Like it's also, it can be high pressure, it can be low pressure.
Well,
you can be like, hey,
here's the high pressure. Overnight.
Oh.
Remember, we talked about the Randall Cunningham story. What was it, with Whitney?
Yes. It was with Whitney.
They went on vacation together. But
they had to fly overseas.
We went to this destination, but we didn't sleep together.
Wait a minute. Is it a night wedding in York?
I would imagine.
Well, I don't think it's 9 a.m.
Well, I don't know what time the wedding is. Wedding could be at 1 in the afternoon. Could be at 2 in the afternoon.
I think most weddings are night weddings.
I don't know.
I think I would imagine it's at night.
Okay,
let's go with the. It's
There's
at
no
night.
way you invite a girl you're just interested in, because
If
you're
it's
not
an
doing
overnight stay, what
you're
do
not
you
doing
do?
that. No, you do not.
Why not?
No, you do not.
Well, because what if it doesn't go the way that you all want it to go? Right? Like we all know that you got one thing on your mind. You're not necessarily happy about the nuptials. You're hoping that you're getting your own nuptials.
Then we figure out that situation later.
No.
Sometimes you got to go in without a backup plan.
No.
I don't know. I've been with
First of all,
I've been with my wife for over a decade now. So
First of all,
I don't know.
What girl is going to agree to that?
Oh, I'm a very likable guy.
She might
John.
also be interested.
Well, then
I don't
that's
know.
different. Then you're going to know it's just not a girl you're trying to get to know better. If she says, "Oh yeah, sure, I'm looking to share a hotel room with you," that's different.
I think Johnny Marks has a new bit.
There you go.
Ray Dunn's +1, and he's got to take. They got to get resumes. All right. Right. We could do basically a live hinge for Ray Dunn on the air.
Yeah, but
Middays with Marks?
Yeah, but you got to go to York.
The +1 with Ray Dunn?
Yeah, but you ended up in York.
First place I ever had Scrapple. It was delicious. All right. Let's see
First
what we
place
have.
you ever had Scrapple was York?
Hell, that's a good place to do it.
Why?
Man. Out there in God's country. What do we have on the Davis Honda text line? Feel the Davis difference. Check them out in Burlington. We love you, Davis Honda. What do we have on the text line? We just talked about the Jalen Hurts contract extension. Derek Gunn, immediate. No, they're not doing it yet.
No.
Kind of a prove-it year from the organization. That's what the team's telling you. A lot of people don't like to listen to the team sometimes, and then they just hear us. You guys trying to run the guy out of town. But there's a reason
now
why.
he's put out a list of the teams that he's willing to be traded to, but of course we're running him out of town.
There's a reason why this discussion comes up, and clearly the organization feels some sort of way. What do we got?
Philly Porty checks in, thinks it's pretty simple with this one. He says, good OC for Hurts, Super Bowl runs. Bad OC for Hurts, disaster. If he gets the opportunity, he'll be great again.
Yeah. If Sean Mannion lives up to his potential that he's a good offensive coordinator, he doesn't have to be great. Shane Steichen wasn't a great offensive coordinator. He's a good offensive coordinator. If he's a good offensive coordinator, then Jalen Hurts can be a fantastic quarterback.
You know what's interesting, though, is Sean Mannion. Would you say that Jalen Hurts' style of play fits with the Sean Mannion style of offense?
I would not.
Yet to be seen, but I would lean towards Connor.
Yeah. So what if it doesn't go well?
Then you're trying to do square peg, round hole, and you tried to do an offense that doesn't fit the quarterback that you have, which makes no sense.
Would they rather fit the quarterback or fit the OC is another question. For them they're the ones that are answering this question.
Well, unless they have a quarterback that fits it, I think it's stupid.
Well, it'd be a lot cheaper. Money is an issue with this team as they continue to get ready to pay defensive players. Here's what I'll say for Jalen Hurts. He's been incredibly adaptable, probably more than anybody in football at the quarterback position with what he's gone through with different offensive
Literally more than anybody else in football. He's a different offensive coordinator every year of his career.
He will work harder than anybody. He's tried a billion different things. Like, if there's a guy you should believe in being able to do it, it's Hurts. So I'm not saying, like, he can't. But I'm saying what we've seen from him right now, he doesn't seem like he fits that, which is another part of the reason why I think the extension should wait.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm not playing the what if game with Jalen Hurts.
They're not
because they're
going
to go. You're going to tell me we're going to go into the draft, take a shot and find a quarterback? Hell no. I've been in the quarterback wasteland with this franchise for too long.
Quarterback factory, draft and develop.
Yeah,
Now, have we really, though? Like, when has this team been for a long term in quarterback wasteland territory? I feel like they've been pretty good at always kind of having a guy.
Yeah, but you know what?
Because you're how old?
Right.
You see,
31.
But that's because you're that. As I tell you, you guys are spoiled brats.
They also
it's not.
they
It's a
had
different
the-
franchise.
They had the Band-Aids. Like Vic was a Band-Aid.
Vic was a Band-Aid, and you didn't win a damn thing with Mike Vick. I hear Mike Vick didn't win anything here. He didn't win you anything. Buddy Ryan didn't win you anything. It's like we have guys that we talk about here in this town that didn't win you anything. Michael Vick, and I love Mike.
Yeah.
Mike's a great dude. He didn't win you anything.
Well, there are a lot of good QBs out there that don't win anything.
Well, then I don't want one of them. I got one that wins. And I got one that wins playoff games and wins big playoff games and performs on the biggest stages. The three best performances of his career
So what are the Eagles
two
telling
Super
you?
Bowls and a Pro Bowl.
So what are the Eagles telling you?
The Eagles may tell you that what they're thinking, we can do it with anybody, that the smartest guy in the room syndrome. And you know who I've seen fail with that before? Howie Roseman.
I've also seen him win two with two different guys.
Yeah.
One of them being a backup.
Yeah,
and the other one being a guy that didn't work anywhere
But
else.
that wasn't
Carson
his.
Wentz.
But that wasn't his plan when he won that one. He didn't plan on winning. It was Carson Wentz. He didn't plan on winning with Nick Foles. That's like it's great having a good backup quarterback around, but not saying Howie boy, you saw that coming because nobody saw it coming.
All right. Coming up next, quick reset of today's show. Well, we are on edge. We talked about this about a half hour. Part of me loves it because that means we're in. Part of me hates it because we're so in that we complain every freaking day. Let's talk about the psyche of the Philadelphia sports fan at this current moment. We do that next. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Two big losses. I'm Connor Thomas, and that was the Philadelphia sports story last night as the Sixers fell to the Miami Heat down in South Beach, 119-109. Miami a 14-0 run in the final minutes of the game to ice things. It was a big loss because it's a big spot for the Sixers. They're now a game and a half back of the Raptors and Hawks, who are tied at 5th and 6th spot in the East. They'll play the Wizards tomorrow, but they're trying to find the way out of the play-in game. The Phillies' big loss, it wasn't the part of the season. It was the scoreboard. 13-2 the final against the Nationals last night. Taijuan Walker, a rough start for him, allowing 7 total runs, 6 earned. It was all downhill from there. Justin Crawford not in the lineup yesterday. We'll see if he is back today, but you're going to see Andrew Painter today, a 6:40 p.m. first pitch, and it will be the first pitch at the major league level for Andrew Painter. He faces off against P.J. Poulin in his debut, and it's not the only big debut. The Flyers have a big one down in Washington against the Capitals. Anthony Sanfilippo of On Patterson joined us yesterday to talk about, could we see Porter Martone?
He will play tomorrow night in Washington. Barring anything happening with fails a physical or some kind of paperwork goes awry today, I expect he will play tomorrow.
A big game and a big debut. You can hear it live right here on The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by Papa John's, introducing new pan pizza from Papa John's. Order a medium one-topping pan pizza, just $11.99 when you download the Papa John's app or at papajohns.com. Better ingredients, better pizza. That's Papa John's. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic app.
will. But first, let's hear what they got into earlier today on Kincade and Salciunas.
It's becoming embarrassing. They lose to the Washington Nationals yesterday, 13-2. And I don't know where to begin, John, because you could talk about the starting pitching with Taijuan Walker, and you're going, uh-oh.
Which was atrocious.
Is this Taijuan Walker from 2 years ago?
Correct.
Where his ERA was like 7. Or you look at the guys that are getting paid a lot of money, Turner, Schwarber, Harper, and I'll throw Bowman there too. They are now a collective 8 for 64 on the season, which is a batting average of 125. And if you want to focus on Mr. Harper, he goes 0 for 5 yesterday, dropping his average from yesterday's .091 to now .063. Not a good start for Mr. Harper.
No, don't think he's going to be wearing any T-shirts in the batting cage. It's look, he was no help to himself last night. He looks lost. The at-bats aren't good. Like last night, could you say the at-bats were where you're saying he's just off by a little?
That's what Topper said, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Topper also said that Taijuan Walker had really, really good stuff.
Yes, he did.
You know, Rob Thompson just continues to bat. I have no idea.
Well, you know what? Maybe he couldn't watch because he got ejected.
Oh, wasn't that
Shout
good?
out to Topper. Topper got kicked out of a baseball. That might have been the earliest Rob Thompson ejection I've ever seen.
I actually wanted him ejected before the game, if it was possible. Hearing the gobbledygook that I heard pregame out of his mouth when he explained to the media why Justin Crawford had to sit for the game. That's where I wanted him set. I was hoping that he would just be ejected before the game and let somebody else manage it because I have no idea what he's doing.
Now back to the show.
Yeah, that's what we talked about so far this morning. Well, we've got into a lot of things, but the Phillies yesterday was it was hype up day. It was pep rally day. Getting all fired up for the big week that we had ahead of us. Sixers every other night, Flyers every other night. Friday we have the Sixers Flyers doubleheader. Phillies,
which you said is go out night.
Yep. Yeah.
And you will be out early.
I will be because I have the Sixers Corona event, and I will make sure that the establishment also has the Flyers game up and running. Giovanni's falafel bar, man, I can't wait for it. So we were all excited yesterday. Bounce back for the Phillies after dropping 2 or 3 to the Rangers. And what we got was a late fourth quarter collapse by the Sixers. Heat going a 14-0 run. Hawks beat the Celtics, so you're now a game and a half back of them. The Phillies just get embarrassed. Like, I don't even want to say beat up. Like, they got embarrassed.
It was easy to tune into the Sixers.
Yeah. Phillies made it easy. You're right. Phillies made it easy for us last night.
Like it was easy to tune into the Sixers because I didn't have to flip because I was too annoyed.
Yeah. I mean, they're down early because Taijuan Walker's shown signs of 2 years ago, and the bats they're dead to start. This isn't going to be the case all season long, but your lasting memory of the Phillies from 2025 is the bats going dead, and they start the season going dead. Yep. And this is coming off of your owner and your president of baseball operations both saying the same message of we were close. You know, a couple things go our way.
Yeah, a little bounce here, bounce there. We're right there.
Like I hate that from my leadership. Like, how about a little something?
By the way, again, we just as I'm saying with Howie, would Howie ever articulate anything like that after a losing season?
No, he would not.
Like never. Like we would never hear anything of that BS.
Dombrowski basically scoffed at people questioning this team.
He did. He looked down his nose at
November.
Us. Yes, he did. And then he had that off season.
Yeah. Of nothing. Like, literally, of nothing. You got Brad Keller. It's been fun to watch him pitch an inning. Like, that's what we've gotten through 4 games. And Adalis Garcia did have 2 hits yesterday.
I like
Garcia. That's a good sign. So, yesterday was pep rally day, and we got kicked in the nuts night 1. Now, hopefully, tonight is better. Today is debut day. Andrew Painter, Porter Martone, both making their respective debuts. One, you're hoping stops bleeding for the Phillies. The other, you hope uplifts the team that's already the hottest team in hockey.
And you
hope that they take another step forward.
Yes, tonight's the night. Do you need your rooting guide tonight, or are we going to do that later?
Yeah, go for it.
It's simple. 4 things you need tonight. You're rooting for Penguins, Islanders, Jackets, Senators. Penguins, you want to lose to Detroit. And people are going to look at the math and go, but wait a minute. You're tied with Detroit. Why do you want Detroit to win? Because the second and third place team in the division automatically make the playoffs. You're 4 points behind the Penguins with a game in hand. You want the Penguins to lose.
Yeah.
They're in your division. They're one of the automatic spots. Penguins lose to Detroit. That's what we're hoping for. The Islanders lose at Buffalo. Great chance for that to happen. You already have 2 games in hand at Buffalo. With the Islanders. Losing at Buffalo is very believable. You want that to happen. Flyers could win tonight, and then Islanders lose at Buffalo. We're feeling great tomorrow morning. Then it's wild. The Jackets to lose to Carolina at home. Carolina's a very good team. Jackets could lose that one. And then the Senators to lose at Florida. I'm not expecting that to happen, but I told you the other day that San Jose wasn't going to win at Columbus, and they did. So
anything can happen, baby.
I don't expect the Senators to help us out down in Florida. I mean, they're going to lose that game, but who knows? Might happen. Stanley Cup champs are just sort of mailing it in down the stretch. They're all beaten up, and their season's done.
So let's talk about our feelings right now. All right? Let's all lay down on the couch.
Our feelings?
Let's all lay down on the couch. We are on edge right now, like big time. And part of it's great, part of it's not so great. The reason why I say I love us being on edge is because we're invested, right?
Yes.
And it has been a long time since there's been investment made with the Flyers. It's been a long time since we were invested somewhat positively with the Sixers. And you know what this first 4 games of the season is telling me? Wake me up when October comes is not as loud as we may have thought. Now, if they were 4-0, I'm sure Wake Me Up When October Comes would be playing.
I think it's the same people.
They're loud when they lose. They don't give them the credit when they win.
You agree, Connor, as the host of the Locked On Phillies podcast?
Yeah,
I think
totally.
The people who are Wake Me Up in October are the people who are the mouthiest right now.
So that means they're not actually saying Wake Me Up when October
That's why I don't
comes.
believe them,
Right.
that they're Wake Me Up. I think that they're just chirping when things are bad.
Sure, and if they win 5 in a row, they'll
be quiet.
They'll be quiet.
No, they'll say Wake Me Up in October.
But at least that means they're invested. Eagles are always, there's always the investment.
Sure.
But it's nice that on March 31st, we are on edge with 3 teams.
I'm thrilled.
That's great.
Now, I'm not on edge with the Phillies. I'm more on edge with the part of the fan base that won't give them a legitimate shot. And those are the people, the Wake Me Up in October people, that won't give them a legitimate shot. That just they've got an answer for everything.
Right.
5-game winning streak, it'll be Wake Me in October. Right now, they're the mouthiest. They're the loudest. So I just can't understand it or deal with it. But for the Sixers and the Flyers, it's 2 different stories. I just want excitement, and I really believe the play-in tournament, though, is the way it's going to be for the Sixers now. The math doesn't math.
Right. And then you gear up for a playoff series, and you know you see what happens. But this is where the on edge is not good, right? We're talking about fire Rob, replace him with Don Mattingly after 4 games. All right. Bryce Harper now sucks. And look, he's not had a good start to the season. And there's legitimate concerns. We're seeing a slight decline in his play, and he's not started off the season well. But there are people, to your point, that are saying, like, this is how it's going to be all year round. And it's not going to be that.
To me, that's nuts.
Yeah.
To everybody with a brain, that should be nuts. All due respect.
Now, do I believe that this could be Bryce Harper's worst season as a pro? Sure. Could be. I don't think there is this gigantic cliff that we're going to see Bryce Harper fall off of. I believe that we're going to see Bryce Harper in his career go on a decline, but it's going to be I think it's going to be slight. I don't think it's going to be a just fall off and be a bum.
Yeah, I'm not even thinking worst season of his career. I could get hit by a bus. I don't know. Anything could happen. He's going to be fine. Now, is he going to be elite? That's the question. And some people have turned that into either he's going to be an MVP candidate or he shouldn't be on the team anymore.
Yeah, that's not fair.
That's too polarizing.
Yeah, that's a lot.
He's brought this on himself. He's the one who brought this all
I would say Dombrowski started it.
But it didn't have to be. Again, if you listen to half of the soundbite, Dombrowski started it. He was compared to arguably one of the best players in the game. And if he took offense to that, sorry about it, Bryce. Just sorry.
Now, let me ask you this. I saw an interesting tweet. There's an account, Bryce Harper home run track. All right.
The Bryce Harper home run tracker?
Do you see Bryce Harper over the next 5 seasons, including this one, so starting this one, the next 4,
okay,
averaging around 27.5 home runs a season?
No.
Averaging.
No.
Yeah, I could see him right around that mark.
So the home run tracker was for Bryce Harper to reach 500 home runs in Major League Baseball. The Twitter account said, I'm not doing it anymore. He's done. because he does not believe it's going to happen. So what's the point?
What does he have to be? What is he at right now?
He's at 363.
I don't think he's getting to 500.
137 more home runs that he needs to hit.
He'll. Yeah,
It's worth tracking.
He's going to get to 500, but if he gets to 500, I think he's going to stumble across the finish line.
He could. Yeah, especially the last couple of years.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about over the next 5 years. He said the other day that he wants to play.
I don't think he's getting there in 5 years. Do you?
No.
I don't either.
I don't think his body allows it to.
Yeah, so I don't know that he's getting to 500.
So he had 27 last year. He could be right on the number.
And how many games is he missing in the next 5 years? His body has just declined terribly. Like, I mean, is he going to miss 30 games a year, 40 games a year?
He missed 30 games last year.
But he's had
27 the year before.
He got hit then the year he got hit on the thumb. That's not.
Well, no, that's
I
not
can't.
him.
You can't predict that. You can't predict something like that happening.
That's just unfortunate.
That's
and then obviously the COVID shortened season takes away your productivity because you only play 60 games and that sucks. But does he get to 500?
No.
Who knows, man?
He's going to get to 500. The question is 500 in the next 5 years.
Right. Because he said, remember, right before opening day, he wants to do 20 seasons. Or he wants to get to a 20th opening day.
He's what, 33, 32?
He is 33 years old.
33? I don't know.
33 and a half, turns 34 in October.
I don't know.
So next year will be his 34-year-old season.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know. I don't think he does.
Because he's not.
He's
a great hitter. He's not the power. He's not hitting 50 bombs, right? Like, he's not the guy that's going to hit 50 home runs so that when he's older in his career, he can put out 30.
Like, you keep him around to do. Yeah,
his problem is he's a 30 home run hitter, but if his body starts declining, it's going to dip into the 20s. Like, Schwarber, in 3 years, Kyle Schwarber will still hit 30-plus home runs.
Sure.
In a season, right? Because that's what he does.
But look at Harper, man. He's like a diehard seam head. He loves the game. He wants to play into his 40s. You played a team in the opening series that was DHing 39-year-old Andrew McCutchen.
He had a big home run.
Like, Harper's going to get to 500 because he's going to play long enough.
Yeah, but Andrew McCutchen's been if I'm not mistaken, much healthier, right? Or am I imagining?
He's had injuries as well.
He's just old.
Yeah, but he's just ancient. I'm just saying, Bryce Harper can do this for more than the next 5 years.
All right.
I don't know if he'll get there in the next 5 years.
We're on edge. Look at what we're doing with Bryce Harper. Like, we are on edge. The city is on edge right now. Good. There's pros and cons to being on edge. It means we care, but it also means that we are saying a lot of wild stuff right now.
Yeah,
a lot of wild stuff.
We just need a big Philadelphia cigarette. I think Ray Dunn's got a pack back there.
I told you last week that I would need one by the end of this week, but I also thought it would be because of fun. And so far, Monday night, not fun. Tuesday night could be better. Andrew Painter tonight for the Phillies. And, of course, Porter Martone making his debut for the Flyers tonight as they continue to make their push for the playoffs. You can climb in on the conversation, 610-632-0975. The Jalen Hurts one as well. I'm not asking would you give it, because the Jalen Hurts fans will say yes, the non-Jalen Hurts fans will say no. What does it tell you that the Eagles, according to Derek Gunn, are not going to give him the extension just yet? He's basically playing on a one-year deal because next year there's very little guaranteed money. And so if he is here with the Eagles, he's not playing on this current contract. It will be reworked. So look at it this year. How do you feel that the Eagles are kind of telling you that it's a prove-it year? 610-632-0975. Let's go to our man Glenn in Wallingford. What's up, G?
Hey, good morning. How's it going, guys?
Hi, Glenn.
Hey, John, I kind of agree with you. I mean, with the Phillies, listen, obviously not a great start from their first 4 games, but, you usually talk to me at May 1st, right? And we get a better idea.
I like June 1st. I do Memorial Day.
June 1st?
Yeah, Memorial Day.
Okay.
So that way a third of the season's done before I really care about where the team's at, like standings-wise and everything.
Gotcha. So I'm kind of like, cut the difference, right? Now, with the other 2 teams, the Flyers, I think, are surprising everybody from where they were 2 months ago coming out of the break. And now with the Sixers, with everybody healthy, I think, nobody in the NBA wants to play the Sixers, I think, in that first round or however way that goes. So we'll see. I just want to be entertained at this point. Maybe because I'm getting older, I'm becoming a little bit more rational than most of our fans, I think, have become irrational or are irrational. I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of mellowing out in my age. I don't know. You guys tell me. I think I am.
Are you softening up, though? Are you getting soft on us, man?
No, you know what? I think when like last night, the Sixers game going into I'm watching the pit with my wife, and I'm watching the Sixers game on my phone. And so, most of the game I was, entertaining, and then I was like really pissed off at the end. I'm like, all of a sudden they're taking bad shots, and they're getting disconnected on defense, and they're letting Hero get wide open threes, which and that was the difference in the game. The last 2 minutes of the game, that was basically the difference. They took bad shots early in the shot clock, and they could have got those shots anywhere in the shot clock. And then they're getting disconnected and letting Hero hit threes. So
and the reason why you're getting angry, Glenn, and we appreciate the call, man, is the urgency of the Sixers. If the Flyers lose tonight, you'll be angry because of the urgency of the Flyers. If the Phillies lose tonight, well, there might be anger, but it's 5 of 162. I don't think it's because Glenn's getting soft on us. It's if you know baseball at this point, all right. You know not to make a lot out of the first 4 games of the season. Now, look, if there's a team going into the season where you're going, all right, could this be the year where we make the playoffs? Let's use the Cincinnati Reds for an example, right? Reds fought hard down the stretch last year. You go, all right, could this be the year they take that next step forward? And let's say they come out the gate and they look like they can't play the sport of baseball. If you're a Reds fan, you're probably a little concerned. I can't sit here and say, our man Andrew Ellis, who I love, he's on our YouTube chat often. He tweets at me last night. I want to try to find it word for word because I don't want to misquote him. But it was basically to the extent of, are you sure we shouldn't worry about the Phillies yet? Here's the tweet. Just curious, are we not supposed to worry about the Phillies yet? One of the most embarrassing games I've ever seen. No, I'm not worried. And this is coming from the guy that ripped them for an entire offseason. It's because I don't think they're ready to take that huge leap to winning a World Series. But they're a playoff team.
Okay. They're a playoff team. Yeah.
And 4 games is not shifting my judgment.
Look, it says anybody who judges a baseball season at 4 games it's jackassery. It just makes no sense. But the problem is that when you go in and you've seen year after year after year of data to understand what you think players are, and there's nothing like it in baseball. Players in baseball, 32, 33, 34, 33, they don't start getting better. Not since the PED era. They don't start going, now they start improving and the trajectory goes up. No. It's not what happens. So the Phillies doubled down on old. And the guys aren't showing, the arrows are not pointing up for any of them.
Yeah, it's a risk. But a lot of people out there are worried about missing a flight that they have in 3 weeks, right?
Next week.
Well, you'll make that flight. I know you. But, we got so much time to figure out how worried we should be about that and how much score. Right now, these 4 teams all have the same record at 3-1. The Miami Marlins, the Washington Nationals, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and the New York Yankees. Are they all the same team?
No, they're not.
What are we doing here? There will be plenty of time to talk about the Phillies issues when we actually have to have significant concern about the Phillies.
But here's
issues.
one thing that I will be concerned about with the Phillies is that I think they hear a lot of the noise.
I agree.
And I think they are a tight ball club. And if they don't win baseball games, they get tighter and tighter and tighter. Look, it could turn tonight. Andrew Painter can go out there and dazzle, and then you have Sanchez in the rubber match, and now all of a sudden you're 3-3, right? And everything's great. If Painter goes out there and gets tattooed, and the Phillies lineup is dead again, you're going, oh, we're tight again. Alec Bumsharp admitted it in a playoff game. So they need something to just quickly remind them that they are a good baseball team. Not a good club, that they're a good freaking baseball team.
Do you think the Phillies look... We've said it today. Both of us believe the Phillies are a very content organization.
Yes.
Do you think the Phillies look a little set in their ways, complacent type of club? The way they go about their business.
Hand raise. I've not been listening to much of the post-game stuff. Have we heard it's early from any players yet?
Yes, we have heard some of those comments of those the first weekend. I did not hear last night.
All right.
So I did not listen
If
last
I hear,
night.
let's say they go 2-3 in the next 5,
But
and
I don't.
it's-
But
it's
I'm
still early.
But I agree with the early.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
thing.
I agree with
it's
the
too
early.
early to even tell the mentality of this team.
No, but the thing is, though, I know the mentality of this team.
We know what it has been, right?
Yeah, and they're not changing. They're not. Schwarber's mentality, Harper's mentality, Trey Turner's mentality. Their mentality's not changing.
It's why
they're baseball players.
It's why when the Mets made the changes they made, they didn't make these changes where like their roster is so much better now. They just made changes.
They changed philosophy of the. They changed the room.
You never
didn't
want to
change
go
the
stale,
Phillies.
man.
No, I agree with you. That's the big concern. But you can't tell if you just pulled the loaf of bread off the shelf at the store, and you're already trying to figure out if it's stale.
I can
Trust
listen-
the Best Buy.
I can listen to Rob.
This loaf has been there.
I can listen to Rob and know what stale is.
23%
Rob is
of the
stale.
23% of the roster changed though, and
Yeah,
they
but
forget
those
they
are
just
just the
signed
weird
Kyle
end
Schwarber.
pieces that you don't even use for the bread. You got
See,
Justin
I like
Crawford,
the
you
end
got Andrew
pieces.
Painter.
I
Fabian
love the
Dolis
crust.
Garcia's in the middle, and he's a fresh piece of bread. We'll see.
You would like that.
I love the crust.
Yeah, that's
Coming
the
up
weirdest thing
next,
ever.
that might be the worst thing you've ever said.
Great crust.
Our man Rob Motti will be joining us. A lot of stuff going on around the NFL as the league meetings are taking place. We'll get his thoughts on the Jalen Hurts contract extension discussion as well. It is Kincade and Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic.
When you've been in business for like 40 years, that means you're doing something right. When you help people with their money, you better be doing something right because they're going to be on edge if it's not. You know, every client has unique needs, and Dan White and Associates has been helping clients navigate their way to retirement and more financial security, let's put it this way, because they address each client's needs individually. So if you're a young couple and you're starting out, you want to be able to know how are we going to buy that first house or that next house or pay for that college education, they can help you get there. If you're a couple that's maybe heading more towards the retirement angle, they can help you make sure that you have stress test that retirement plan. Are you going to have the income in retirement to live the lifestyle you want? They have offices in Glen Mills, PA, Middletown, Delaware, and Lewis, Delaware. And they host educational seminars throughout Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland where you can go and be a passive listener and be able to find out, yeah, I'm on the right track. They're awesome. Dan White and Associates. Get your complimentary no-risk consultation today. Visit danwhiteandassociates.com today and tell them John Kincade sent you.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
A buzzkill of the night. I'm Connor Thomas, and that's what we had in Philly sports last night as the Sixers came up short against the Heat down in South Beach. 119-109 the final. Miami finished with a 14-0 run in the late minutes of the game to ice things, and the Sixers now find themselves a game and a half back of the Raptors and Hawks, who they'll need to pass one of them to get out of the play-in tournament spots. They'll take on the Wizards tomorrow. The Phillies, 13-2, their loss to the Nationals last night. It was bad from Jump Street. Taijuan Walker allowing 4 runs in the top of the first. He allowed 7 overall, 6 earned. Justin Crawford not in the lineup yesterday, just the 4th game of the season. Rob Thompson talked before the game about the thought process on that.
Just to give him a little reprieve from all this left-handed starters. And, but, I mean, he handles lefties pretty good normally. So.
Yeah, a little competing schools of thought there. Game 2 is at 6:40 p.m. tonight. We'll see if Crawford's in the lineup. We know Andrew Painter will be on the mound making his Major League debut against P.J. Poole, and it's not the only big debut. Flyers, Porter Martone expected to play tonight in Washington. They take on the Caps, 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. It's also big for the standings in the postseason push. Rob Motti joins the guys coming up next, live from the NFL owners' meetings out in Arizona. This update is brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place in MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MADD-HELP or visit MADD.org. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and Union. 97.5 The Fanatic and The Fanatic app.
Kincade Salciunas is back from the break. I wonder what they're going to get into.
The final hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to Bagster.com.
Andrew?
Well, I said all right, and then John said the 9 o'clock hour. So it was actually perfect.
I didn't hit you with the drop.
I
so
did not
we'll give you
screw up
one.
that
all right?
much. I did
Give
not
one.
screw up that much.
Con, I want to help you quickly. And Patricia Caputo's in there, so she can even give a heads up to this as a thumbs up, thumbs down. Austin Jones got this on the second guess. From the Today Show, 26,000 women, single women, asked men as summer was approaching to do not wear this.
Speedo.
No, that's a good guess, though, Connor. Do not wear this that a lot of men wear.
Hank, the basketball jersey outside. I don't know.
No. It's for summer. Well, but that's not a bad guess either, I guess. I don't think a lot of men wear that, though. 5-inch shorts.
Too bad. Do they prefer 4-inch?
26,000 women. It got over half the votes.
They asked the wrong 26,000.
Stop wearing the 5-inch shorts. Guys, they said that is the number one. And over 26,000 women, it was the number one thing that came in that they said to stop. Guys, women are trying to help you out before summer. Stop wearing them.
Like everything else in my life, try and stop me.
6-inch seams it is, Connor. All right, joining us now. Let's ask him what size shorts he wears.
Rob's not wearing 5.
From the Associated Press, he's the best, and we know that he is busy as the league meetings are going on in Phoenix, Arizona. Our man Rob Motti joins us. Rob, so far, what's the number one takeaway? Because this year it's not the tush push week. What do we got going on in Arizona?
Well, first off, I wear 7-inch shorts, so I'm glad I didn't invest in the 5s.
Thank you very much, because you're a guy. That's very good.
You know what dominated my day personally yesterday was the officials, the replacement officials, the contract with the CBA, with the NFL Referees Association, and working on the negotiations that apparently right now aren't going anywhere, and it's increasingly looking more and more like we're heading towards a potential 2012 where there's going to be a lockout, and I'm getting the one side from the NFL, then I'm getting the side from the NFLRA, the Refs Association, who's asking for what, and it's going back and forth. It's not looking good, and ultimately who loses out is the football fan and anyone who loves football, because we've all had issues with officiating as it is. Imagine if you have to go to replacement officials again and go through that, what was a debacle in 2012. So somebody's got to, at some point, cooler heads have to prevail, and they've got to come to an agreement for what's best for football. I think what's been interesting in that is, and a lot of people don't care about this stuff, but like we always talk about, you got to make them full-time, and there's been opportunities that's in the CBA that they could make these guys full-time, and the NFL will tell you, well, they want full-time pay at part-time hours, and then the Refs Association will say, well, no, that's not true. So that's been a big topic. Obviously, the tush-push isn't on the agenda, so, and there aren't too many proposals. The Browns withdrew their proposal for trading draft picks 5 years down the road, so that's where we are right now. And of course, things like the Rooney Rule is going to come up, because that's something that is part of what is NFL culture right now, and people constantly talking about that in the situation with the Attorney General in Florida coming in. So those are the not fun things, guys. That's what I say. Those are not fun to cover. I want to talk about the guys on the field and the trades and the speculation and the contracts and all that stuff.
I want to know what the Eagles are going to do with some of their salary cap space, because right now they're like 6th in the NFL in salary cap space. And we were talking about yesterday with Derek Gunn about a Jalen Hurts extension. He doesn't believe one's coming. So what's going to come? Is it going to be a Jalen Carter extension? What's the buzz?
You know, it's interesting that there is not much conversation, John, about a Jalen Hurts extension. And I understand he's signed through 2028, so you still got 3 more years, and there isn't that urgency. But the Eagles have always been the kind of team. Like you go back to, I thought, and this will shock people, but I thought when they gave Carson Wentz the extension, it was too soon but what they wanted to do is get ahead of it, right? They always want to get ahead of it because you look at, all right, 3 years down the road, what is the rate going to be for a franchise quarterback? Are we headed towards $7 million with Dak over 60? Like, where are we going here? And they've always talked about wanting to get ahead of that. So for those reasons, I would think that they would want to look at something with Jalen Hurts, but there really hasn't been any talk, any buzz, and any thought about that right now, and that could change. Jalen Carter, certainly a guy they've got to lock in, and when they can make that happen, Jordan Davis got paid, and he's a guy who's a high priority. I still want to see what's going to shake out with A.J. Brown over these next few weeks, because that can certainly have an impact, and we know what the ramifications are with the salary cap and how it would make sense to do something with the post-June 1st designation, but that one might be the next decision. The big decision's got to be involving that. And I know what Howie said this week, and I know what Nick said this week. And it's interesting how they've gone from great players and all of that, and you got to keep great players to now it's just AJ's a member of the Eagles, and we're going to move on. But from a contract extension standpoint, I wouldn't rule out something with Jalen at some point to be for them to come up with that and have that conversation and sit down with his agent Nicole Lynn and think about it. But when he signed for 3 more years, that's something that Howie's got to weigh. In 2 years, next year, what's the rate going to be? There's teams like Tampa Bay right now is dealing with that with Baker Mayfield going into a final year of a 3-year, $100 million. So he's technically a bargain at $35 million. And what's he going to get on the open market if next year? And what can they sign him for? So I think you got to lock in your star defensive players when you can, and Carter's certainly one of those guys who fits that bill.
All right, well, you brought up A.J. Brown, so why not? Let me ask you, the latest you've been hearing on the A.J. Brown front, the likelihood that he gets traded versus the likelihood that he is a member of the Philadelphia Eagles in the 2026 NFL season.
Man, I started the off season with I think he's not going to be here more likely than not, and at the time I didn't think the Eagles were going to be able to get a first round pick for him, and I thought they were going to have to make a decision on a 2nd and a 3, 2nd and 4, whatever it is. The Jalen Waddle trade really set the bar and changes everything. When the Dolphins are able to get a first, it's a 30th pick overall, and a 3rd for Jalen Waddle, then they swap 4s. So just take that out of the conversation, and they move up or move back in a 4. But essentially, it's a 1st and a 3rd. You're the Eagles. You got to look at that. AJ's a year older. He's won a Super Bowl. He's worth the same to me, and that's got to be what they're holding out for, and that's what they would want. I know that there's been a thought that signing Elijah Moore and the friendship that they had back in Mississippi is something that is like, hey, we're going to try and continue with AJ, and that could be part of it. There's no reason to have to. You're not forced to trade A.J. Brown unless he has quietly, and we don't know this, told them, I will not play for you. And that's not come out. That would have come out. If he's not going to play, if he's not going to show up, if he's going to hold out, then you're going to be forced into a situation where you have to trade him. I don't believe that's been communicated at all. And when I look at A.J. Brown, he's not a guy who is a bad character person that you need to have off the team. There's a difference between guys who make mistakes that are correctable, that are fixable, and guys who just have a bad heart. And I don't want to judge anyone's character or heart or whatever it may be. That's not for me to judge. But AJ's not that guy who he wants the ball. He wants to win. He wants he wants what the fans want. He wants to see the offense succeed and work at a high level and be efficient with the talent that they have. Now, he may go about expressing that in ways that could be detrimental, but he's not a guy that to have him in the locker room is going to he's not that problematic. I just believe that and you've won with him, and I think they could still win with him. So they're not in a situation for me where they're forced to trade him and have to accept less than what they deem is the value for A.J. Brown, which should be a 1 and a 3, just like Jalen Waddle. So this one's going to be very interesting to see how it plays out. And I think George Pickens' situation with Dallas may factor into it, guys, because he obviously wants a bigger contract than the franchise tag. And the Cowboys got to make a decision on how much are they willing to pay Pickens when they're paying CeeDee Lamb, when they're paying Dak Prescott. They've got defense that they need to bring in, that they need to spend on, that they need to invest in. And could the Cowboys potentially make George Pickens available? And would he be a guy that interests a team like, say, the Patriots, who would be the competition for A.J. Brown? So at this point where we stand today, I'm starting to feel like A.J.'s going to be on the Eagles, and I don't think that's a terrible thing.
I got to tell you this, Rob. If Connor and Andrew were coming to work and were disgruntled with how management was doing things and they weren't giving full effort and weren't doing their best all the time, I would consider that a character issue.
But we're so talented that you'd want us
But
back.
I'd consider it a character issue. That would be a character issue to me.
It's a great point, John, because it's character and there's heart and there's, when I think of bad heart, like I think of the guys who get in trouble off the field,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, I get you.
Right, those kinds of things, and that's how I look at it. But you certainly can make that argument, and if you're not being a great teammate, and I know Nick Sirianni said this often, and I borrow this from him all the time. Like, good teams have good players, great teams have great teammates.
Yep.
And you have to be a great teammate. And if you're not a great teammate, I could see where that's a problem. It's a tough one, man. It's a touchy one, and I don't know how that one's going to play out. But I just don't feel like they don't have to move on from him for the sake of moving on. It's not addition by subtraction. I'm not there yet.
There you go.
All right, Rob.
Thanks,
listen, man,
Rob.
we appreciate the time. Enjoy yourself out west, and we'll talk to you again soon.
You got it, guys. Take care.
There's Rob Motti, Associated Press.
I love Phoenix.
Keep those A.J. Brown jerseys. How about that? D-Gun yesterday, not going anywhere, according to him. Rob Motti leaning out toward him staying.
It's absolutely character to me, though. I was surprised with Rob with that. That's why
I ignored all that stuff.
That's a character to me.
The only thing I listened to was A.J. Brown back.
If you guys came to work and didn't give it your all because you were upset with the bosses.
Yeah, but we're talented, so you got to keep us around.
No, I'd be like, no, you're not giving it your all. You're not a good teammate.
Connor, you want to get A.J. Brown tattoos together?
Absolutely. Forehead?
Nah.
Go for it.
Okay.
I'll go sleeve.
All right, fine.
Full sleeve of A.J. Brown. All right. I'm out of here. I have to go to Cooper's spring concert. Oh,
Tell the kid
boy.
to do well.
Oh, I can't wait. I
We'll
know.
talk to you tomorrow.
This is the beginning of his singing career. Johnny Marks comes your way at 10. John Kincade, Connor Thomas, they continue going. But before I go, let me tell you about what I got going on Friday, April 3rd. Giovanni's Falafel Bar, Johnny. Oh, dude, I can't.
Never even heard of this place, but it sounds great.
I can't wait.
It sounds great.
I love falafel. I love bars. I love Center City. So all three of these things in one place is my kind of spot. This Friday, April 3rd, I'll be at Giovanni's Falafel Bar and Grill on Chestnut Street in Center City with my friends from Corona. I'm going to be there from 6 to 8 for our Corona Sixers pregame party, getting you ready for tip-off the right way. So hopefully they get their win tomorrow, and that means Friday we can get fired up for another big one for the Sixers. Grab a cold Corona, enjoy the atmosphere, and get ready for a great night of Sixers basketball. Plus, one lucky fan is walking away with a pair of tickets to an upcoming Sixers home game, and that could be you. Don't forget, this is all leading up to our final Corona Sixers event. I can't go back-to-backs. That's why we need Connor to do the one Saturday, April 4th from 6 to 8 at Timeout Skipback on Skipback Pike, where you can enjoy $4 Corona family bottles and one last Corona Sixers pregame party. So don't miss it. This Friday, April 3rd from 6 to 8, I'll be at Giovanni's Falafel Bar and Grill in Center City. Connor will be at Timeout Skipback on Saturday, April 4th. It's the Corona 76ers pregame party. We'll see you there. You got to be 21 or older. Please drink responsibly.
From the city that demands the truth.
lively day. It's been overwhelmingly erratic today, Connor.
Yeah, we're all over the place as a city.
Because it's been today's like an EKG. It's been a lot of negativity towards the Sixers, and I contributed a lot to that. But I make no apologies because I think the Sixers have created that. We have a lot of excitement about the Flyers and potentially what that could be tonight. And now there is a lot of anticipation for Andrew Painter's debut tonight. So going into it, what do you expect?
Well, this is a tough thing with both of these guys. It is a really tough spot. I think more so for Painter than for Porter Martone, but it's not easy for either of them. Like, ideally, Justin Crawford making his Major League debut on opening day when everyone's excited to have baseball back. It's a great thing. Kid gets 2 hits. Beautiful moment. Andrew Painter is making his Major League debut. He did not play for the Phillies last year, or he did not pitch in that 2023 NLCS. He did not lose in the World Series in 2022.
None of the stain is on him.
But with how people are viewing this team right now, I can't imagine that there's not pressure there. So the tough thing is, like, you almost have to clear both of these guys from the expectations of the moments they're being put in. But with the talent level they have, you kind of can't.
Okay, there's no pitch count on him reportedly tonight.
No.
So we're looking 5, right?
Yeah, if he gets through 5, I'm very happy.
If he gets through 5 and they could give that kid a lead in his first start, you're saying, is it important for Rob Thompson to give him a good thought point leaving the mound?
Absolutely. You saw him do it with Mick Abel last year. Like 5, 2 earned. You give me the ball, we'll move on. You got an off day on Thursday. That's great.
Yeah, Rob's worried about those off days. Well, but I mean, that's with Painter. With Martone, you make the point, and it's a perfect one. He's stepping into a team, which I don't really even know how that's going to look. And he's stepping into a team, though, that right now everything is going great for the Flyers. They're on an incredible run. They're the best team in the NHL over the last 12 games, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Like nobody saw coming.
But he's stepping out of Michigan State and just walking right into an NHL postseason push. And the Painter pressure comes not from the situation, but from the fan base. The Martone pressure comes from the situation and not the fan base. So it's almost dueling expectations there, and it'll be really intriguing to see how people handle it.
If I said to you right now, gut instinct, we're talking 10 years from now, and you're doing a show with Andrew, and don't wake me up because I'll sleep in and then I'll go play golf. Martone, Painter.
Martone, easy.
As a Philadelphia career.
Yeah.
He's had the bigger Philadelphia career.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because Painter is not Zach Wheeler, not Christopher Sanchez, not Aaron Nola, not Roy Halladay, not Cliff Lee. Like, you look at the Phillies' history, and they've had aces. They've had guys that can throw the hell out of the baseball. Flyers fans have been starved for, like, a star player that wins something. And even in the Claude Giroux era, he was a guy that never, like, summited the mountaintop. So Martone has better opportunity because he doesn't have this, like, oh, we've seen this before, right? There is kind of more of a blank slate for him, whereas Painter is just a guy who has to follow up other guys.
Yeah, we're walking through the desert right now, right? I mean, it's been, for the Flyers, they've been waiting. And Mishkov was supposed to be that, even though he has been pretty much rivaling in points. You know, he just got his 100th point a couple weeks ago. He is not underachieving terribly at all. It's that he busted onto the scene, and then Tocchet in this defensive style has been a challenge for him.
Yeah, totally.
Where, you know, the numbers aren't what people want them to be. I worry that people are going to, and I make a plea, that they're going to expect Porter Martone to come in here and just start lighting things up right off the bat.
Yeah.
Could he? I don't know. I haven't watched him play enough.
It's not going to take much, I think, for Porter Martone to be people's favorite Flyer.
Because he's going to show out. Well, first off, size-wise, he's going to show out.
Yeah, and there's just not that many guys on the team that you're long-term invested in. Like, TK's been here forever. Sean Couturier's been here forever. All these other guys are either, like, recent or flash-on-the-scene guys this year, and who knows how that changes for that roster as they try and make the push. For Andrew Painter, it's going to be hard for him to be people's favorite Philly. And that's no fault of his. It's just how the team's built. So that's why I'd go with Porter Martone.
We asked yesterday on post-show headlines, who are the most beloved Phillies? Give me 5 beloved Phillies right now by the fan base.
On this team currently. All right.
I came up with 3.
Yeah, we'll go with Christopher Sanchez as 1 is easy.
He's 1.
Zach Wheeler 2.
He's 1.
Edmundo Sosa.
Oh yeah, Sosa we didn't think of.
Which not after last night. He had a rough day
Well,
defensively.
no.
Still.
But people have loved him. Schwarber, right?
Yeah, Schwarber for sure.
I had Schwarber, Wheeler, Sanchez.
Yeah, I think,
and I don't think that anyone else is that. Like even Harper, I think has had a.
No, Harper's too polarizing at this point. I'm trying to think of really anybody else, and all the position players have drawbacks. Maybe Joan Duran could get there.
Yeah, could get
but
there.
But we haven't seen enough of him yet because he doesn't feel like ours yet.
Rooting guide, last minute, right? We got a minute?
Yeah.
Rooting guide for tonight. People are arguing with me on Twitter about it, but I'm telling you right now, you could be, if the Penguins lose to Detroit and you beat the Capitals, you are 2 points out of second place, the second place Penguins, with a game in hand. And that's an automatic playoff berth. You want that. Let the Penguins lose to Detroit. Let the Islanders lose at Buffalo. That's what we're doing. The 2 teams ahead of you in your division, second and third place, you could be a point out. We could wake up tomorrow morning a point out of third place in the division with 2 games in hand.
How awesome would that be? Real quick, Phillies rooting guide. You're rooting for the Phillies to not lose 13-2 to the Nationals tonight.
Connor, I think you've just summed it up. We'll look forward to it. Middays with Marks comes your way next, everybody. Have a great day.
Now on 97.